Good morning. Savva here, Football Heritage TV. Hope everybody is well. 98 of you already in the chat. Happy 4 minutes past 10 to you. Tottenham Hotspur, even when it's a quiet day, it's not a quiet day. What happened yesterday? Well, Spurs submitted their opening bid, didn't they? Spurs submitted their opening bid to Wolfsburg for the purchase of Mickey van der Ven, believed to be in the region of 30 million. Let's be fair, you can never be too clear. Is it 30 million euros? Is it 30 million pounds? Could it be 25? Could it be 35? With Daniel Levy, could it be 15? You never, ever know, do you? But we've had that. I've had people in my chat. I've had people in my YouTube chat telling me that Ndombele is a more talented footballer than Paul Gascoigne. You did hear that right. I am not drunk. I have had people coming into my chat telling me that Ndombele is a more talented footballer than Paul Gascoigne. Let that sink in. This is when you know football has gone mad. Like the world's gone mad. We already know all the problems in this world that it's gone mad. But I had, and I got screenshots for this, but I don't want to embarrass that person. But absolutely crazy. Better technically, I was told, than Paul Gascoigne. Wow. You know, for anyone who hasn't seen Paul Gascoigne, please go and watch him play. For most of you, I'm sure you've seen Paul Gascoigne play football. There's 140 of you in here. Ben Kaufman's in here, chief moderator. Don't upset him. You know what he's like. He will run with an iron fist. There are 40 likes. Let's start as we mean to go on. Let's smash those likes right up, please. All the way up. Let's smash them up. Early doors, and we start today on 6,710 subscribers. So yesterday we managed to get 68 subscribers in the day, which was fantastic. Today we're going to hopefully leave this video in an hour and a half. It's not a program or a video, is it? This stream. Maybe I am drunk. Am I drunk? Can't be drunk when you stay in and don't drink, can you? So we're going to hopefully end this on 6,750 subscribers. So that's 40 subscribers. If you haven't already, why? But please go over, smash the subscribe button. Ben will put it into the chat for you. I'm sure he will. He's nice like that. And we'll take it from there. So Ndombele, better than Paul Gascoigne. Spurs have had an opening bid for Mickey van der Ven, of which we haven't heard anything since. Then the news came out last night, depending on the source, depends on how much you buy into it, that Daniel Levy's upset with Bayern Munich. Really? He's upset with Bayern Munich for tapping up Harry Kane and having conversations with him. It's all part and parcel of football now. How can you be upset? It's what we would do to players. Right, everyone does this. You will speak to the agent, you will speak to the player and find out, are you interested? Before we go and have these mammoth negotiations with your club, is the player interested? If we agree a fee, is your player going to come? What will the personal terms look like? So for me, Daniel Levy getting caught at his own game. Hey, it is what it is. Let's have a look who's in the chat. Big ups to every single one of you. 153 of you in here at the morning. And apologies, by the way, I'm not tired. I've got really bad hay fever, which I'm desperately trying to keep under control. And it just makes my eyes and nose really, really itchy. Good morning to Nige. Hope you're well, sir. Always a big supporter, as is Nick Brown. It worries me if we need anybody to assess how lazy and bad Ndombele is. But this guy, the number of fans coming into my chat yesterday saying, oh, but Savva, if Ange can get the best out of him, how does anyone know what this best looks like? Where are we making this up from? 4 years we've not seen it. I'm not saying you, by the way, but he's got to go. Donna Cullen in the chat, as always. Big up, Donna. I hope you are well. You're a liar. I bet you go into other Spurs channels and watch them as well. Don't tell me I'm your favourite. Ungoni, Savva got the heavy hitters for the Spurs review. Yeah, so the Spurs review is back this Sunday night, the 9th of July, for this first episode of the new season. It's episode 31 in total. It's going to be two regulars, myself and Sean from Spurs Talk Show. This week we are joined by Fuad. If you don't know Fuad, get to know Fuad. What a fantastic content creator Fuad is. Does a lot of work with some big hitting channels, speaks really well about Spurs and is a top guy to go with it. And we're also joined by Tapping Tobes. We all know Tapping Tobes, huge Spurs channel. Oh, you can find him on the Big Six, always very calm, cool, collected, got a body like a Don. And they'll both be joining myself and Sean on Sunday night at 8 p.m. The link is live. You can go over and like it, star it, and get your notification bell on. But that should be a good show to kick off the season. And it will be the week before we have our first friendlies. Thereon, it will be every Sunday at 8 p.m. Everyone knows Sunday night, 8 p.m. Spurs review. Good evening to Tagaro. Good evening to you. It's actually good morning for us, but I'm guessing you're in Australia, somewhere like that. Billy Andrews in the house, saying we all know Ndombele's talent. It's his attitude. Yeah, and I can't ever see that changing. I told you Ben was in here running with an iron fist. Usual rules in effect. Absolutely. Big up to Ben, and go and subscribe to Ben and to the lads over there at Tottenham on tour. Let's smash that subscribe button. Can I get 5 subscribers in the next 10 minutes? Who here hasn't subscribed? Put your hand up. Gregor, we will talk about Hugo Lloris. I've got a feeling there will be movement on that. I can't see that he will still be at Spurs next season. And big up, yeah, absolutely. Donna Cullen in the chat, taking time out. And look at those two fantastic midfielders, Ant, in your thumbnail. Ozzy Ardiles and Ricky Villa. And we got Spurs fans out here trying to tell me that Ndombele is one of the best midfielders we've ever had. Unbelievable. Good morning to Future Music. Good morning to Raf. Good morning to Stephen J. I hope you are well. Said, always a pleasure to tune in and hear a perspective from someone who has their own opinion and not afraid to say it with his chest. Boom. Need to tone those up a bit, don't I? Oh, since the holiday, eaten way too much. But thank you. Listen, I've never been afraid to say what I think, and I will always say what I think. So let's smash those like buttons, people. Let's get it to 100 as quickly as possible. We're on 65 at the moment, and let's get that subscribers up at least by 5 in the next 10 minutes. We're on 6,710. So smash that subscribe button. Georgie One Foot, Leicester City Football Club. Big up to you. I've not seen you before, but big up, Georgie One Foot. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're well. Wolves Finland is in the chat. Paul Hancock is in the chat. David Lever's in the chat. Mark is saying hello, Savva and Ben. Yeah, always a big up to Ben as well. I'm going to have to miss a lot of these comments so that I can keep up. It's... By the way, just so you know how it works. So, for example, this comment I'm reading was posted at 10:03 and it's now 10:12. So I will have to move forward a little bit. We will talk about this. Yes, Madrid have signed Arda Güler, who is one of the wonder kids of football. It's Madrid, isn't it? It's football heritage. Where is it? There. It's football heritage. Can I get it right? There. Football heritage, Real Madrid. So where are we? We have got a super chat. Yes, Keith, I couldn't believe it either. My comments back to this person probably sounded really rude, but they were literally comments like, this is a joke. Please don't disrespect Gaza by putting him in the name. Phil P in the chat. Big up, Phil. One of my favorites in the world, not just in the football community, has said, do you worry about the mental health of people and the gem pop when people are taking smash on Paul Gascoigne? For me, the best player I've seen in a Spurs shirt. I think, Phil, what it shows is a lot of these people didn't get to see Paul Gascoigne. If anyone thinks that even Ndombele, a technically good player, nothing on Paul Gascoigne. I mean, it's just absolutely embarrassing. David Clark, big up, not seen you for a while. Hope you're well, David. I said the Gascoigne and Ndombele debate is just worth my time. Let's just say that one of them walks. Yeah, listen, it's absolutely mad. I couldn't believe it when I was reading it yesterday. Embarrassing. C to the fourth has said McDonald's have a new burger out. It might motivate Ndombele. Yeah, it's embarrassing, isn't it, when you think about it? Everyone's saying the same thing. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And Ndombele does his best work in a Mackey's drive-through. Look, it is a shame. It is a shame for me that we're now about to see Ndombele start his 5th season as a Spurs player. And what we've seen from him so far was a debut goal. I think he got a really good goal in a cup game that I seem to remember against, oh gosh, somebody help me out here. I think we won maybe 5-0, something like that. And I think he scored a great goal. And I think I remember a brilliant goal against Sheffield United. Big up to Holly Agombo. What a fantastic content creator Holly is. If you don't know Holly, get to know Holly. Please go over there and smash subscribe on her channel. Ben, would you be so kind to put Holly's link in the chat? Great content creator. Just done a really good show with the ex-Spurs defender, Stephen Corker. I think everyone likes Holly. So big up to you, Holly. Let me know, Holly. Let me know if you're free, if you're not working. Feel free. You can jump on. Let me know, Holly. Completely up to you. Here is the link to my channel. Please smash the subscribe button. We've only had 1 subscriber so far this morning. Come on, people. Let's get that subscribe number up. I've got to keep up with the Henrys and the Seans of this world, haven't I? They're the target. Blues brother, big up my man Charlie. I hope you are well. I say, yes, Savva. I like Ndombele. There's so much talent there, but it's more down to him if he succeeds rather than the manager. Problem is, how much do you actually get for him? Yeah, I think that's always been his problem, Charlie. I don't feel like it's any managers. I feel like it's his own desire. I'll be honest. I think if anyone wants to pay £20 million for this guy, you snap their hand off, because look, he's on 200 grand a week. So he takes £10 million a year in wages to sit there and do nothing. Even when he went on loan, he doesn't do anything. He sort of floats around, does something every now and then. So it is what it is. Moondog, I've not seen you in here for ages. Moondog, big up to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. And good morning to you. I hope you are well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you. Paul Connor, channel member, big up to you as well, my friend. I hope you are well. Get over to the Calfee Company, subscribe to Ben, get him to 400 subs as quickly as possible. Come on, we're all one community. If all 226 people that are in here right now went over and subscribed, we hit that target immediately. Where are we? God, let's catch up. Let's catch up with some of the chat. Wow, there's a lot of people up there. A lot of people. Yeah, don't worry about working, Holly. If you need if you need the link, just come on, even if it's for half an hour. It'd be great to see you. But let me know. Let me know. Right, guys and girls, let's start. Oh, before we do, Tagaro has said, when is Big Ange's first presser? Can't wait. Yeah. Yeah, we need to see a press conference. I think we've had the video from the training ground. I think we've seen some behind-the-scenes footage. I'm looking forward to a first press conference. As I said from the beginning, big fan of Postecoglou. I think what I'm seeing is the tide is turning with a lot of fans that at first were, oh my God, he's Celtic and he's never done it in a big league. I think those people are slowly but surely starting to turn around. Holly, I don't know if you've got my number. If you are able to come on, if you haven't got my number, then just whack me a message on Instagram and let me know when you have, and I'll send you the link. It's not a problem. But if not, let's get another date in the diary and we'll definitely get you on, and I'll come on to your show as well. Where are we? And is saying that his first press conference is Monday, so we can all look forward to that. And then Spurs have got their first friendly, in just under 2 weeks, I believe, with West Ham, European champions West Ham, versus Tottenham Hotspur of 8th place in the Premier League. So that should be interesting. Let's talk about it. Let's get it out in the open, people. So Mickey van der Ven. Lots of talk. It feels like for the last 2 weeks, this name has been on our lips for a very, very long time. Lots of conversations backwards and forwards, according to people like Ornstein and Romano. Then apparently Wolfsburg saying they didn't know anything about it. And then funnily enough, the day after that happens, Spurs submit their first bid. As far as I'm aware, it's not been rejected yet. As far as I'm aware. Let me know in the chat, how quickly do we think this is going to get wrapped up? Do we think it's going to get wrapped up? By the way, Milan Skriniar has just been confirmed as a PSG player by Fabrizio Romano. Azpilicueta has just been confirmed as an Atletico Madrid player. Just seeing if there's any news about us. No, nothing about us this morning. So, Mickey van der Ven, how quickly do you think Spurs will be wrapping this up? Do you think we'll wrap it up? Is there a danger that somebody comes in and steals him away from us? What do you all make of it? Obviously, I do feel a little bit upset about this signing. And what I mean about that is nothing to do with the player. I think the player is very, very good. Is that we can't just be happy as a fan base that we're signing Mickey van der Ven. Everyone has to lump it in to everyone has to lump it in with, are we getting Tapsoba? And I think that's really, really harsh on Mickey van der Ven. I think what we should do is concentrate on Van der Ven, or VDV as we'll call him from here and out. And then worry about Tapsoba afterwards. I think it's unfair on the player. I think, we've got to separate these two. They don't come as a pair. They are separate players from separate clubs. So let's get behind this signing if it comes in, and then we can worry about if we're going to sign another centre half or not. Hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next week or so, we'll start seeing some outgoing defenders as well, which will allow Van der Ven and Tapsoba to come in. But we've gone from being a club that don't buy any centre halves to being upset if we don't buy two. I think we need to just steady the ship a little bit. Thank you to the 2 people that just subscribed. If there is anyone new in the chat, please do smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. It would be much appreciated. Good question. How good was Ndombele before we bought him? Is there a little bit of, we bought Ndombele off the back of a couple of good Champions League games? Is there that? I don't know, because Leon didn't seem too upset when they lost him. The fans were coming into YouTube channels, the French football fans, saying that you've got a lazy bloke there and he's not as good as people have made out. We'll see. Let's get to some comments. Smash the like button, people. Have we got to over 100 likes yet? 94 likes. Smash that like button and keep subscribing. Maurizio Pochettino, who has said having another player with the initials VDV confuses me. It's all right. One was 10, 12 years ago and played attacking midfield. The other one is a left-sided centre-back. Don't worry. It's all good. Dan G. Big up Dan G. Enoch out, Levy out, has said, I think it will get done next week. I really hope so. I think the fans need it, to be honest with you. If it hasn't been rejected yet, then it's a positive sign. Let's hope so. I'm hoping we'll see something from Romano today. Clubs don't normally take more than 12 to 24 hours to reject or accept a bid. So let's see what happens. Big up Midori. Ringo has said done in 48 to 72 hours. So that would make it what? By Saturday, Sunday at the latest? Peter Simon's coming in here saying last minute job, I'm afraid. Are you saying somebody coming in and taking him from us, Peter? Let's see. Oh, who's WhatsApp me? I've had a WhatsApp from Henry Wright TV. Big up Henry Wright TV. Okay. Henry, if you're watching, I'm sure you're not. You're probably at work. But if you are watching, I'll message you afterwards about what we've just been talking about. Are you going to do an FPL league? Do you know what? I might do, but I always find with these, for the first month, I get stuck in and I change my team and I get ready on a Friday for the weekend. And then after that, I just forget I've done it. And then my team just ends up being whatever it was at the beginning of the season. If enough people want me to run one, I will definitely do that for everyone. Maybe we can all put in a $5 and the winner takes a $5 or something like that. I don't know. It's up to you. The J Maker has said we will get the Van der Ven deal done on deadline day. Come on. I can't see it taking that long. Dave Clark has said, I've got to be honest, I just know nothing about Van der Ven or Tapsoba, so I can't really comment. Yeah, I know more about Tapsoba than I do Van de Ven, but what I have seen of Van de Ven, I'm impressed. And Tapsoba has done very well in the German league for the last 3 years now. So, but yeah, I hear you. And that's why I think lots of people, we shouldn't judge too soon. But big up, David. Leon has said Mickey is wrapped up, in my opinion. Hopefully. Beast of Tottenham Hotspur has said we ain't getting either. Come on, Beast. You can't be bringing those vibes to the show. Neither. Come on. Come on. Let's not go down that road. Neil Hartley has said, there it is. Has said, Ndombele needs some home truths, that he is ruining the rest of his career. And if Big Ange can drill this. I just feel that, for me, I'm bored of the whole saga, Neil, if I'm brutally honest. I'm bored of us trying to resurrect players that haven't worked. We've done it for years with Dyer. We did it for years with Delhi. We did it for years with Sissoko and Lamela, Davis, Sanchez. I'm just really bored. Sessegnon's another one. Skip's another one that everyone's forcing to be better than he is. I'm just bored of it. I want to see proper footballers, if I'm honest. David has said would be nice to get him over for medicals over the weekend. Liverpool do have an interest. Let's see. Sean Egan has said, Savva, I'm worried about the length of time these deals are taking for the most crucial part of our rebuild. Surely this would have been the first order of business. Yeah, I mean, look, you've got to take in a lot of things into account. Agents speak to the club, right? The club will speak to the agents. Maybe the agents are saying, look, hey, my guy's on holiday, so we don't want to start anything till he's back. Hence Harry Kane. Or he's not going to be doing anything until this date. I think we need to, as long as they come in, that's the main thing for me. Tigaro has said Van de Ven announced at Monday's presser. I can see us getting Tosin. Tapsoba will go to Liverpool, Man U. Yeah, my worry is I think Tapsoba will go to a bigger club. I think he's a very good centre-half that lots of clubs will want. I think, is that you, Holly, who's just messaged me? I just had a WhatsApp from someone. I think it might be you. The picture's very, very small. Beast of TH said Tosin will come. Good morning to you as well, Beast of Tottenham Hotspur. Leah said, Ndombele is a baller, but far too lazy. Do you know what? I'm going to disagree. I don't understand why anyone thinks he's a baller. I don't know what he's done to get this praise. I don't know what he's done to get these superlatives that are thrown at him. He had a good few games about 5 years ago in the Champions League, and now everyone calls him a baller. Kate said, we need defenders in quickly. Liverpool were looking at Van de Ven. We should get the deal done. Yeah, lots of people worried about this Liverpool interest. Daniel Harris said, I had a debate with someone older on Facebook who said Romero is top class because he won the World Cup. I said, what does that have to do with Spurs? And he said, it proves how good he is. Yeah, Daniel, listen, I've been fighting this fight, not just with Romero, with everyone for years. There are many world-class players that win the World Cup. There are many players who are not world-class or class that win the World Cup. You can't have a team full of world-class players. It just doesn't happen. And I hate this notion that because someone's won the World Cup, they must be brilliant. Players like Stefan Guivarc'h won the World Cup for France. Yeah. Do you remember Jimmy Traore played left back when Liverpool won the Champions League? Remember that? Jimmy Traore was awful. Steve Finnan was the right back, a decent right back, but nowhere near class. You look at it, players like Per Mertesacker, Mustafi, these people have won World Cups. But when it's a Spurs player, what people do is they want to over-evaluate them. I think Romero looks better for Argentina. That's a huge worry for me. But I'm not going to go down the Romero route because people get really upset with me. Ben, thank you. Thanks for that. It was you. Giving my number 2, Holly. So thank you very much for that. Stewie Spurs has said, although I don't see us doing much in terms of finishing high or winning anything, I'm actually excited about watching Ange Ball. It's going to take time, but it'd be nice to get a teams. I agree. I think if we can, for 1 minute, remove the worry of 3rd, 4th, 5th, FA Cups, whatever, and go on this journey, I think we'll do well. Let's just build a team. Jimmy has said, feel as though Ange wants to mirror Pep's backline with 3 big centre-backs. Mickey as the Ake, Natural centre-backs on the left. Romero as the Stones going into midfield. Tapsoba as the Diaz. Porro as Walker. Only fullback. Why not? I'd be happy with that. If we can get both those two players, I'd be very happy with that. And then no more excuses for Romero being poor. If he comes in and if he plays alongside Tapsoba and Van der Ven, no more excuses for when this guy has howlers. No more blaming Davis and Dyer, even if they don't play next to him. David has said, I watched videos of 2 interviews with 2 of Ndombele's ex-coaches, and if Spurs scouts had seen those interviews, then they would have gone nowhere near Ndombele because those coaches destroyed him. Yeah, a lot of the press over there destroyed him. The fans destroy him, if we're using your word. And I think that, the cameos, the game he played against Man City in the Champions League was brilliant. But there are many players who have had great games. Look at Jack Wilshere. That brilliant game Wilshere had against Barcelona, against Xavi and Iniesta. Didn't mean he was class or world class, did it? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I agree with you, Dave. I don't either, Kudos. I don't want to see him in a Spurs shirt again. I just, so many people want to give this guy another chance. Like, this is his 5th year. 5. Let that sink in. 5. Liam has said, Savva, one thing I particularly like about Van der Ven is that he seems to have a leadership mentality. And in one of his interviews from a year or 2 ago, he stated he wants to be a leader. Absolutely. And he is also the captain of the Netherlands under-21 team. Yeah, these are the sort of characters that I want to get into the Spurs dressing room. We're at 122 likes, 300 of you in here exactly. Smash those likes. It means 50% of you haven't. And of the 300, own up. Put your hand up in the chat. Who hasn't subscribed? Please subscribe if you haven't. And let me say thank you to you. We are now at 6,715. So we've had 5 subscribers throughout this show. Let's get the next 5 very, very quickly. We're putting the work rate in here for you people. Every morning at 10. Video drops at 2 o'clock every day. Another stream at 5 o'clock. Come on, guys and girls. Show some love. Hit that subscribe button. Where are we? Kate Rickson said, it said Singo might be coming to Spurs. Yeah, I mean, Singo, the right-sided player. I'm not sure that will be high on our list, but hey, I think there's going to be, Kate. I think there's going to be a few. I think there's going to be a few surprises along the way. Hang on, my wife has just messaged me. What have I done? I always feel I've done something wrong, so I'll just say, "Love you." There you go. It's like morning. Like, hello. Future Music has said we have to trust Ange's judgment. These fairly unknown players are obviously required. I would say when we say fairly unknown, they're only unknown if you don't watch any other leagues, right? I think if you watch other leagues, lots of these players are very well known. But I get your sentiment. Thank you to the 2 people who just subscribed. Let that be a lesson to the rest of you. Smash the subscribe button. Wayne Holland, big up in the chat. Tell people they should subscribe, Wayne. Tell them I'm a great guy on YouTube, but I'm a very good guy out of YouTube as well. Big up, Wayne. Good morning to you from Boston, Massachusetts. Great word, Massachusetts. So big up to you. Where are we? Chris Melbourne has said, good observation, Savva, separating players. Postecoglou was very clear at Celtic when media and fans referred to the 4 Japanese boys he brought in that they were individuals. I agree. Everyone keeps lumping Tapsoba and Van der Ven together, and I just don't think it's fair. Let's take them one by one, shall we? Daniel Harris said, we're notorious for taking 4 weeks to sign a player. How are people already getting impatient? Yeah, it's what we do. Even though we know, we get impatient. Darren, why are you coming in here trying to upset me? He said, Savva, I would not be surprised if Longley is the only defender we end up with. I really hope we don't sign Longley. I can't imagine that anyone's seen him last year and thought, yeah, that's the guy for Spurs. Yeah. Oh, please, no. I'm just seeing if Sean is free. Bear with me 1 second. Thank you to the 2 people that have just subscribed. One person, sorry. One just subscribed, then unsubscribed. Kudos said Ndombele has scored 1 good goal for Tottenham. Yeah. DJ Sean Tayson has said Ndombele is in no way the same league as Gaza. I remember watching Gaza as a little boy and he was magic. Yeah, honestly, when this person said this, Sean, I couldn't believe. I just couldn't believe it. Stewie Spurs said, I'd be very happy with Van der Ven and Tosin. Sadly, think we will get Van der Ven and Longley. I'd be happy with Van der Ven and Tosin. If you put Van der Ven next to Romero, you've got Tosin as a third centre-back. It looks a lot stronger than last year, doesn't it? Good point, Sean. Good point. Does Ndombele know how privileged he is to be a professional footballer? Some of us will give our left arm to wear the cockerel on our chest. I think this is half the battle for me. This is half the battle. Beast of Tottenham says, Savva, got to go to work. Great show as usual. Can you nick Sean's hat? I can't nick Sean's hat, I'm afraid. And Sean's not available. He's out with a dog. Let's message him. I can't nick his hat. Where are we? LFC for the double said if Liverpool wanted Van der Ven, we wouldn't be talking about him going to Spurs. He would be holding a Liverpool jersey. Interesting. Brian Hill, not Brian Hill, has said Van der Ven will be bid accepted tomorrow. How many times do you think I've said Van der Ven this morning so far? Also, we're going to move on at some point as well. We're going to talk about there's lots of talk that Sanchez is wanted by Villarreal and Serge Reguilon is wanted by Osasuna, who have just qualified for the Conference League by finishing 7th in the Liga. What are our thoughts on Sanchez and Reguilon? Would anyone keep them? Is there any desire there for any of the fans to keep either of those two? Are they needed to raise funds? Yeah, let's see. Daniel has said, excited to see Maddison properly going at teams and leading the charge. I think he's going to be immense. No more sideways passing. We can but hope. I'm a big fan of Maddison. I think anyone that's watched me for years knows. I've said since he was at Coventry that I would love Tottenham to sign him. For me, I think Alex Scott is that same player. I think Alex Scott's going to go that same route. There's lots of good, young, exciting players. You've got to try and get hold of them. By the way, did anyone watch Morgan Gibbs-White the other day for England? Simon D has said, I must be getting old. The younger generation's perspective on the game and players is so different. I feel like a dinosaur stuck in the 90s and it was only 20, 30 years ago. Simon, I agree with you. Simon, I agree with you. I don't know how old you are, but I grew up watching football in the 80s and 90s. And sometimes the players that these younger fans now call ballers and world-class and generational and high ceilings, I look at them and go, they're nothing compared to the players I used to watch. Not all of them, of course, but I do feel everyone wants everyone to be better than they are. I always use Ollie Skip. Tom Hillier has said, how mad, 193 votes and it's 50-50. So, Tom, you are referring to my question, which was, should Postecoglou give Ndombele yet another chance at Spurs? And it's 50-50. So basically, what are we at? 222 votes. That means 111 people have said yes and 111 people have said no. It does baffle me how 111 people believe that this guy should get yet another chance. It's almost like, I'll be interested to see if he gave Ndombele a chance and Ndombele played 10, 15 Premier League games to start the season and we were bad. Would those same people then be having a go at Postecoglou for not bringing in new midfielders when it didn't work out? I'd be interested to know. Chris has said, recent subscriber, big up to you, Chris. He said, your biffo with Sean about Villa on Henry TV won me over. Sean and I always do that, but we're good friends, Sean and I. Always remember that. Gary Wellesby has said Tottenham Hotspur is not a psychotherapy clinic for struggling players. Gary, but our fans want it to be. Big clubs. Ndombele wouldn't have lasted a season at any of the big clubs, but yet our fans want him to have another chance in his 5th year at Spurs. Where are we? There's loads and loads of comments. Loads and loads of comments. Sorry, I'm having to skip loads because there's so many. So if I miss out some of what you're saying, I'm not doing it on purpose. Of course, if you've got any questions, put the question in the chat. Put a capital Q beforehand. Drunk Vigo. I don't know if you're being serious or not, but yes, we should have 1,000 viewers. More than that, we should have some more subscribers. From 345 of you, I don't believe you've all subscribed. So if anyone hasn't, please get over there and press the subscribe button. We are looking to get to 6,750 before the end of the show. We're only on 6,717. We need 33 more. Who's going to be so kind to go over there and smash the subscribe button? Ben has already put the link in the chat. You don't even need to leave the page to smash the subscribe button. So please, please, please do that. It really does help. Levy for Profit has said, Longley on a free as a left centre-back backup has Levy written all over it. There's way too much hype over our business so far when only Maddison improves our 11. I think Vicario improves our 11 as well, but I hear what you're saying. Let's take it slowly. Let's see what happens. And for me, Solomon's a bit of an unknown quantity. I think Solomon, compared to what we saw from Son last year, could improve it, but you never know. I'm not saying he's better than Son, by the way, before anyone completely takes what I've said out of sync. LFC has said take the money for both and run. We're talking here about Sanchez and Reguilon. Cash has said I'll keep Reguilon. He fits the Ange system with his pace over Sessegnon and Perisic. David has said Sanchez can go for a meal deal at the chicken shop. Philly 2109, big up Philly, has said, what's that someone said? Ndombele is in the same league as Gaza. That can only have been made by someone who hasn't seen the great Paul Gascoigne. Yeah, mate, it's worrying. Basically, what they said was if he worked harder and had a better attitude, he's technically better than Gaza. It just worries me. It worries me. Lee has said Reggie's our best left back until Adoji proves otherwise. That's an interesting theory. Interesting theory there. Do you think that Reggie will start the season then, Lee? Or do you think that Adoji will start the season at left back? Daniel says Skippy can't even get into the England under-21 starting 11. Says it all. Can't wait to see the final though. Yeah, look, you know me. I'm not a huge Skip fan. I think another very overrated player by our fans. Our fans seem to overrate players for fun. And then when somebody more realistic like me comes in and is placid about, that's not the word I'm looking for, is more honest about those players, you get told you're negative. I keep getting some idiot coming to when I'm in Henry's chat, someone called Jib or Gib keeps saying, oh, all of our young players are generational. I don't want them to succeed at Spurs. And I'm like, well, they can't all be generational, can they? Like, you know, Shimmy has said with the sale of Reguilon, Sanchez and the Winks money, it would pay for Van der Ven and some, I believe, and some, depending on how much we get. Thank you to the person who's just subscribed. Let's have a look. Ben Kaufman is available. Let me get Ben on. Sorry, I've only just seen this message. Let me just send Ben the link. 1 second to send somebody a link. I have to do this. 1 sec, please bear with me, people. This is the tough thing about when you stream by yourself. Where is it? There it is. Ben, there we go. Ben, here you go, mate. I've just sent you the link. There you go. Sorry, I've done that as quick as I can. I think I've done that in like breakneck speed. Thank you. Somebody else has just subscribed. We're now free at 6,717. Come on, people. Let's get another 32 subscribers. Let's do this. Let's do this. Nick Brown, I said, Barca want 10 million euros for Longley and desperate for a sale. Yeah, I don't, you know, I just don't want him, Nick. I really don't want him. And it's worrying. 251 votes, 51% said no for Ndombele getting another chance. 49% said yes. Wayne said, yeah, the 111 arrival fans, they must be Wayne. I don't know how there's a single Spurs fan in this community that has watched Ndombele for 4 years and then still thinks that he should be in R11. It's just, we kind of, when I say this, people have a go at me, but we really do have the club we deserve at times. We really do. Mark, I agree. I know it's mad. 50% of vote. I know it's mad. Of course, we'll let Ange make the decision, but the decision might not even be on Ange. The decision could be that no one wants to buy him. Bob has said, are you surprised Ange Postecoglou hasn't gone back for a Celtic player? He must have a favourite. I reckon it will come. I reckon it will come at some point. I think they're going to try and get the defenders wrapped up first. And then I would take Hatate or McGregor or O'Reilly or Kyogo. They're the four that I would take. Not all of them, but they're the four players I wouldn't mind seeing at Spurs. But yeah, I think that might happen. But again, we'll see what he wants to do. Gregor said, any chance we can use Sanchez as a make weight for Nelson, plus 5 million or so? Far more potential in Nelson and plays to Ange's system better. I mean, yeah, I don't know the answer to that. Sure, why not? I would love to see Nelson come the other way. I think a raw player, he's got potential, very good on the ball. But more importantly, I just want to see Sanchez go. I suppose it's whether or not Galatasaray want to pay, what is he on, 86 grand a week, something like that. So I suppose we'll see. Solomon is bang average. Okay, all right. In your opinion, I mean, you know, I think that's a bit harsh, but hey, each to their own. Wayne Holland said, why not just sign all our players? As David Clark said, we should get some more players from Leicester City. I mean, you guys must be happy, Wayne. I mean, what a good signings you've made so far. If I look at Connor Cody at centre-half, Winks in centre-mid, good signings. Wayne, what's happening with your forwards? Vardy, is Vardy staying? Iheanacho staying? What's happening there with your players? I mean, let's be fair. If you keep Iheanacho and Vardy, you should come straight back up. Philly 2109 has said, like with Conte, whatever happens next regarding the players, that is on Ange. I think it's two different things here, Philly. I think if he plays Ndombele every week, that's on him. I think if he can't get rid of him, that's not on Ange, is it? If we can't sell him because no one wants to buy him, then that's not on Ange. But I hear your sentiment. Again, Peter, you have the club you deserve. I'll say it. I'm ruthless with people. Ndombele costs a lot. Costs nothing to give him one last chance. I mean, we deserve. You've got the club you deserve, Peter. When you come in here with all your negative tones, don't say that you don't deserve it. Because if we constantly want players to have 4, 5, 6 chances, we're embarrassing. Top clubs do not work like this. Big up PJ Berlin. Big up to you. Fuster Cluck, great name, has said, I don't like players who can't even smile after scoring. Makes me think they have attitude problems. Each to their own. Each to their own. Captain Grandma, brilliant. Some of the names, has said, do you think all this speculation about Kane is just to try to cause friction between Kane and the club, hoping for a fallout and subsequent transfer? I would say big up to Ben if that works as it joins, Ben. I'm trying to get you into the show, Ben. I'm not sure if it's worked. I would say this is just natural. This is what happens. Here we go. We're soon to get Ben. There we are. Big up, Ben. How you doing, mate?
Doing all right. It's an interesting morning. We've heard some incredibly silly things this morning already, and there's always room for more silly things. Is what's it called? Is Brian Hill better than David Ginola? Let us know in the chat.
Oh my God, it does make me laugh. It makes me think to myself, maybe I remember Paul Gascoigne wrong. Maybe I didn't witness one of the greatest players England's ever produced. And maybe Ndombele is the second coming.
It's madness, and it's not even the thing of youth. It's just people don't know football anymore. People don't watch football. They don't see.
I do worry. I think a lot of it, Ben, for me is tribalism and biased. Yeah. And the thing is, I think anyone who watches me, 50%, I think, of people like me for this reason and 50% don't like me for this reason. I'm fully aware of it. Is that because I'm not biased to Spurs players. I'm not biased to Spurs, even though I'm a Spurs fan. I think lots of people hate what I say. But when I see some of the comments, like, I'm sorry, look, let me ask you straight away, where are you on Ndombele? I mean, this will be year 5, Ben. Year 5.
I'd sack
Right.
him. Like, I speak with my brother of this, and my brother does a completely different job. But he just says, if this was the property industry and you were earning that much money, and in 3 years, you would have been sacked. You would have been sacked. It would have gone to an employment tribunal, and then you'd be like, give your money back. It's unacceptable what he's done. Walking off against Morecambe. Like, if he is a quarter of the player Paul Gascoigne is, he should be running rings round Morecambe without him having to walk.
I think this is the thing for me, right? Listen, I don't expect. By the way, I don't expect anyone to be as good as Paul Gascoigne. By the way, I've never seen a midfielder at Spurs like Paul Gascoigne. I think Modric would be the closest thing I've seen, but Gazza was just different at everything. Yeah. What I am expecting though is for a £65 million player that in 4 years, we would have seen at one point a run of 10, 15 games where you go, wow, that's a player. You know what I mean? That's the guy we bought. Yeah. And we've not seen it, Ben. But yet still fans going, well, if we can get the best out of him, what is this best? What best?
Yeah. I mean, there isn't a best because he doesn't want him to be the best at the end of the day, because that's the only thing stopping him, whether he's got talent or not. There isn't a best. We say this, we're sentimental FC. We slate our best players for wanting better, but we coddle the players that don't do anything. We coddle the Davises, we coddle the Longleys, the Dyers. I grew up watching Ledley King, and no one gave Ledley King the amount of love like that Ben Davies gets. No one's like giving him a cuddle. Everyone's like, you're an amazing footballer. But Davies, people say, oh, but Davies isn't the problem. Yes, he is. He is part of the problem.
Yeah, I think many of them are. I mean, Ben, look, one of the things that I wanted to talk about with the Ndombele situation, a lot of people have been coming in with this angle towards Ndombele, which is it's the angle of the managers that have managed Ndombele. Yeah. Now, it makes you laugh because you've got Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte, who are serial winners. But what we're being told is they didn't know how to get the best out of Ndombele. Okay, that's fine. Let's take that as one separate subject. Then on the back of that, you get comments like this, right? That this will be the first attacking manager that since he signed that he's going to be playing for. Yeah. Now, my worry, Ben, isn't that this is the first attacking manager or the others were defensive managers or pragmatic, whatever you want to call them. My worry is it shouldn't matter whether your manager is defensive, neutral, attacking. If you do not work hard and show the desire, this is not an excuse for me.
No, it's not. It's not.
You're like a central midfielder.
Yeah. It's not like Napoli weren't an attacking team, were they?
Right.
And
he couldn't get in.
Yeah, he couldn't get in the team because he won't work hard.
Right.
I don't understand why people give him the time of day. But if it's true that we've not accepted a 20 million bid, that's a bit of a worry because we saved £40 million by selling him for 20 because it's 2 years of wages we don't have to pay. That's 40 million saved. And then that's Tapsoba easily. That's Tapsoba.
Right.
That's Tapsoba. And then you put the 30 million, and you've got your defence, you've got your midfield, and that's how a club is run. That is Tapsoba.
It's absolutely mad. Just quickly, by the way, I have seen the waffle Rory Jennings has come out with. I'll be honest, I've called out Rory Jennings a number of times. He probably doesn't know who I am. Yeah. I would love Rory Jennings to come on this show and talk to me about Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah. This guy chats the biggest amount of nonsense of any pundit, YouTube, whatever you want to call them, I've seen. Not just about Spurs, about football in general. This guy is clickbait. If people haven't learnt that, this guy goes onto shows and talks badly of strikers that score 60 goals in a season because people then go mad at him. I'd love a one-on-one debate with this absolute clown. Just because you talk really well and you sound like you've grown up with a silver spoon in your mouth doesn't mean that you know football. Anyway, sorry, shouldn't have said that. It's I don't get it, right? Of course, it's going to be Ange's decision. Of course it is. But from what we've seen, Ben, from Ange and what everyone knows about him, it's all about pressing and energy and power and pace.
Yeah.
Now, if you're putting Maddison into that three, Maddison is the one for me that will be the highest up the pitch that you aren't going to rely on so much to do the tracking back and the defensive work. Are we saying there's room for Ndombele and James Maddison in a three? Can you imagine being the other centre mid that plays with those two?
Oh, you'd want to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you will be doing four people's work. You will be absolute. Like Basuma can't do that job. Bentancur can't do that. You would need prime Clarence Seedorf. That's who you need. You need prime N'Golo Kante to do that. You'd need prime Makalele. You'd need someone with a tremendous engine. Maddison and Ndombele should be nowhere near the same team. We would be so open, especially because it's most likely we'll end up with Eric Dyer and Davinson Sanchez as our centre-backs. We'll concede 10 goals a game, but we'll score 10 goals. It'll be brilliant.
Yeah. I listen, I just genuinely worry. Do you know what? I'll be honest though, Ben. I don't want to be contradictory. From bits that I'd seen of Ndombele, when we signed him at first, I was like, okay, all right, this is exciting. But then very quickly after the first half of the season, I realised this is not the guy. And then year two, you go, okay, right, year two, show us what you're made of. You've had a year to settle. Then year three. Then year four, he goes out on loan to Napoli and gets 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. Then he comes back to Spurs and we get, well, if we can unleash. My point is this, Ben. This is the last conversation we'll have on Ndombele. My point is this. If Ange Postecoglou gave him the first half of the season in central midfield and he was lazy and he didn't work hard and he didn't do this, he didn't do that, I wonder if there's 50% of the fan base that are saying we should give him another chance will then say, oh, it's not Ange's fault, it's on Ndombele. Or whether they'll be saying, well, why did he pick him? Do you know what I mean?
It'd be the opposite. They'd be blaming Ange. They'll still be blaming Ange. They'll be saying, "Oh, he's not playing in the right position," or he's not bought the players to play with him, and he's a baller and he's a generational talent, and he should be playing in a double pivot, and all the words that we love hearing on this show, me and you. That's what we will be hearing. It's never on this player. It's never on him. That he doesn't work hard enough, that he doesn't apply himself, that he doesn't lose weight, or he doesn't eat correctly. It's always on the boss and never on him. And he's got to look at himself. He's got to look at himself. And Paul Pogba had this at Man United as well, that it was never Paul Pogba's fault. It was always Mourinho's fault. It was Ollie's fault. It was never on Paul Pogba. It's never. It's the same sort of... that these players have so much talent. They've got more talent in one toe than most players have in their entire body, but they don't apply themselves. I don't understand it. There are other players that have this, but it's the mentality. It's the mentality. They don't want to win. Like they want to be the star of the show, but to be the star of the show, you've got to be a Harry Kane. You've got to work your socks off to be a Raphael van der Vaart's the perfect example. He was the star of the show because he was all over that pitch, and he was not someone that was that necessarily trim as trim could be. He was a bulky chap, and he was running around like a lunatic. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. I'll make something happen. And they don't want this. They don't want it, especially in central midfield where you've got to be that engine in midfield. You've got to be it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Sorry, just quickly, somebody has said that, Tungai Ndombele is not on £200,000 a week. I'm pretty sure Tungai Ndombele is on £200,000 a week. Sure. I'm looking at two different sources now that are saying, here you go, Tungai Ndombele, weekly wage 200, base salary of 9.6 million a year. Yeah. and that was in 2021. And I'm guessing, I don't know, I'm guessing his salary hasn't gone down. Yeah. Yes. Who said that? Rico. He is on 200 grand a week, my friend.
Yes,
he really, really is on 200 grand a week. And hopefully now, if you take that and you think to yourself, 200 grand a week, like, how many players could Spurs go and buy that would have, all right, maybe a fifth of the talent of Ndombele, but you'd get so much more because they want to play for Tottenham Hotspur? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'll ask this question. Who would Spurs fans rather have in central midfield? Jordan Henderson or Tungai Ndombele?
It's the easiest question on the planet, isn't it?
Well, I wonder. I do wonder, though. With Spurs fans, I wonder, Ben, because as I said, I've seen this for years with Lamela. I mean, that guy had like 9 years at Spurs or whatever he had. Ben Davis, another one. Excuses for 10 years now. Dyer. We did it with Dele Alli. It was, this was just a blip. The second year was a blip. The third year was, right. Sissoko, he'll get better. Davinson Sanchez with the right defensive manager. Yeah. Serge Aurier. Sessegnon. This is going to be Sessegnon's 5th year at Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah. And it's excuse over excuse over excuse time and time again. And then what we'll say is, we don't win trophies. Well, no, of course we don't. Because we've got fans making excuses for crap players to still be at the football club.
Yeah. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's almost as bad. I'd rather have Sissoko than Ndombele. He wasn't a good footballer, but at least he works. At least he had some sort of an attitude to actually work hard. He knew that he's going to be up and down that pitch. And Ndombele doesn't give a shit. He literally does not care. He does not care about anyone else but himself, and that needs to change. If he's going to be some sort of a footballer, that's why Napoli didn't play him. It's because it was a what's it called? It's when you play for Napoli, you don't just play for a football team. You play for an entire region. That's not acceptable in Napoli. It's not acceptable. You work as a team and you work hard.
Jeff, you're lucky that Chief Moderator Ben is actually live on screen. Calm down, boy. I mean, listen, I'll take that as a compliment. I'm 40 years of age. I'll take it as a compliment. I know Rory Jennings personally. He is a cool lad. He might be a cool lad. He might be the nicest guy in the world, but he chats absolute nonsense about football. The last bit, I'm gonna take that as a pinch of salt. But let's not have that in the chat, eh? Talking about where people live. Let's not have that. One last chance. If I see that again.
If he wants to come on the show, he can come on. I can send him the link.
He's fine. Who? Rory Jennings?
Yeah, I'll send him. I don't have his number, but if he wants to come on.
Rory Jennings is one of these. He goes on, makes terrible opinions on big shows like TalkSport and DR Sport. Yeah. Like he goes on and then gets thousands of followers. Yeah. Listen, I've got nothing against Rory Jennings. He seems like a nice guy. One of my good friends knows him and says he's a nice guy. I'm not calling him out for how nice he is as a human being. I'm calling him out for his absolutely dreadful takes on football.
I love watching Rory Jennings, just like I like watching to Andy Goldstein. It's just like it's saying things to make big news. If you say crazy things, more people are going to watch it. It's why no one watches me, because I don't say crazy shit all the time. I just say eat a biscuit. Everyone loves biscuits, so no one wants to hear that.
Absolutely. Raf, again, I'm willing to give Ange pre-season, see if he can get a tune out. I lost, as soon as I saw tune out of Ndombele, I lost complete interest. I'm so bored of this. Do we not think Leopards don't change their spots? I think what will happen is if he does start playing, I think for 3 or 4 games, you will see Ndombele run through brick walls, right? Then I think after that, it will settle back down to Ndombele going back to what Ndombele is, a very lazy footballer. I don't... Yeah. Somebody said Henderson all day. Henderson by a long way, sorry. Henderson all day. Again, we've had excuses for Eric Dyer time and time again. Davis is due a testimonial. I mean, how are we at the stage where players like Dyer and Davis are due testimonials?
It's... I was confused when Ledley King got a testimonial, and that guy is an absolute legend. That guy is a legend. That's still, testimonials are not for me. For me, it's just another day out. But that Dyer and Davis don't deserve to be anywhere near a Tottenham shirt. I mean,
no,
it's madness.
Absolutely not. Let's have a look. Somebody's just said, sorry, that Paul O'Keefe's just tweeted something out. Let's have a look at this. So, Greco Christos said, Paul O'Keefe just tweeted Højbjerg has interest from 2 clubs abroad and Tottenham open selling. I'm cool with that, Ben.
Sell.
Right.
I'm sorry, Ellie.
Another
but
one.
This man runs through treacle. He runs through treacle. He doesn't have an engine. He's got no technical ability. And if he wants to go and play some more dinosaur football for Diego Simeone, there's the door.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, I like I like Højbjerg's attitude. I really do. I really like his attitude. But for me, we've got to be buying better. We've got to be buying better footballers when they've got the ball at their feet. Winter Surfer has said, as a Chelsea fan, we don't claim Rory Jennings puts players above the club. Frankly, Tottenham said Rory Jennings is an Arsenal fan deep down. Listen, if anyone knows Rory Jennings, I'd love to have a conversation with him. I'd love to query some of his terrible takes. Harvey Troy has said, is it just me who thinks Bentancur is overrated? What exactly is his best attribute? He isn't a goal scorer or a destroyer. Yes, he's a good passer, but who knows what he'll be like when he returns.
I love Bentancur as a footballer. I think he's great. I think he's the only sort of leader we have in that dressing room. When he first came on the pitch, you saw something very interesting, which was him already telling people where to be. He's got that guile, he's got that skill, he's got that calmness on the ball, he's got a bit of an engine on him. I think he's a top player. And last time Juventus won a trophy, he was one of their better players. Mm-hmm. And that was a long time ago now. I know that's a really long time ago, and he was a lot younger. But he's just got it. He's got that sprinkle of magic on him that can really glue a team together. And that's what he's good at. He's the glue. As soon as he drops out this team, we go from looking semi-functional to being absolutely shambolic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you know what? I think I probably sit in the middle. I like Bentancur. I like him. I think for me, though, I like to see players do it over a number of years. And for me, it's consistency. Look, not his fault he got injured. I thought that he was starting to blossom. Yeah. My worry before that was that I think he went missing in big games. But, hey, if he could come back stronger, he could come back weaker. Okay. Let's see.
He added goals to his game as well at Tottenham. He didn't score many goals at Juventus. I think he scored 1 goal for his entire time at Juventus, but he scored like 3 or 4 for Tottenham. He started adding goals to his games. He started arriving in the box quite late, and he got a few goals in that. He scored some important goals. Sporting Lisbon for one of them. I can't remember all of his goals, but he started adding goals to his game. So there was improvement. So let's compare. I don't want to go back to the Ndombele. Ndombele's got worse. Bentancur's getting better because he's adding things to his game as well as being the metronome, the leadership in midfield. He's adding to his game very slowly, and it's I like him. I think he could be really great with a destroyer behind him.
Do you know what? I you know me, Ben. I keep my feet on the ground about players. I think Bentancur's a good footballer. I think there's a lot of room to grow. I don't think when we say what exactly is he or he's quality, I'll sit in the middle. For me, players have to show it. I did this with Kulusevski as well. You can take the 4 months that Kulusevski was brilliant. You can look at the last year where he wasn't. For me, now what I need to see from Kulusevski is consistency, not patches. You need to see consistency. I'm not knocking him. That's the mark for me of a top player is they do it week in, week out. And I'm not saying he has to score or assist every single week, but where are we?
He's got to add to his game now because people might disagree with the purchase of Manor Solomon, but he's going to push him. Manor Solomon can do that. He can do that role very well. He's got a shot on him. So now he's got genuine competition in Pedro Porro can play that position and Manor Solomon can play that position. He's got to work, otherwise he's out of that team. I like Kulusevski. I think he's got that sort of, I'm not comparing him to him at all, but he's got that Teddy Sheringham-esque slow on the ground, but fast in the mind. He's very quick up there. So I agree with that. And I think
I agree with that. It's just consistency.
Yeah, consistency. But now he's got competition. He's got to be consistent. Otherwise, he's out of that team.
Absolutely. Just quickly, smash the likes, people. We're on 191 likes. There's 374 of you in here. That means that 184 people have not liked the stream. But you're in here. If you're in here, surely you like what you're seeing. Smash the like button. With the subscribe button as well. We've had 12 subscribers during the show today. Let's at least get that to 20 people. Smash that subscribe button. And also go over to Ben and subscribe to Ben as well. Cash said, if we sell Højbjerg, I would go for Paulinho. I think the problem, Cash, that you've got there is Fulham have whacked a massive price tag on Paulinho's head. And I think more than
if you sell Ndombele and get that 40 million quid from selling on Ndombele and then sell Højbjerg, that's Paulinho almost.
It is, but they whacked an 80-90 million pound target on his head because West Ham inquired because they knew Rice was going. But great player, Paulinho. Love Paulinho in our team.
Just what Basuma and Maddison. That's a top midfield. That's a midfield that's challenging for top two, possibly maybe even a title challenge if you put a decent defence behind them. That's a quality midfield because you've got all the attributes. If you've got the defensive midfielder, you've got Maddison for the guile, and then you've got Basuma that can do a bit of both. You'd have a totally balanced midfield. And the goals we have, if you have those three and our front three, decent defence, you're going for a league title. That is a quality balanced team.
Well, I've got some comments about Bentancur to read out, and then got a super chat, and then some quotes from Gordon Strachan about Postecoglou, which I thought were quite interesting. So Levy Out has said Bentancur is good, but he's 100% overrated. He gets lost in the biggest games. One of our best, but the standards have been lowered since Ndombele left. Kudos. Well, look, listen, watch these comments. They're all very different. Kudos has said Bentancur is quality. He's not a goal scorer. He's waffle. Future Music has said when it all gets hysterically crazy at the back, Bentancur is calm, calm, calm. Hod God has said Bentancur is calm personified. Excellent passer, great engine, can score and has a winning attitude. Mark Robinson, Bentancur is class. For me, as I've said, it's in the middle. I'm not going to say he's class. I need to see more from footballers before I start labelling them class. But Bentancur, for me, what will be interesting is this, Ben. We're all talking about this number 6 that we need, whether it's this window or in the next year. What will be interesting is if we buy that out-and-out number 6, for the moment, let's just say an Amrabat type.
Yeah.
You've then got Maddison, who's your attacking part of the tripod.
Yeah.
Then it will be interesting to see what happens when you've got Bentancur and Basuma and the defensive midfielder and James Maddison. And if you're picking 3, that'll be interesting to see what then happens with Basuma and Bentancur. Because for me, they're almost vying for the same position, right?
All competition, it works.
Sure.
That's what the best teams have. Better competition makes players get better because they want to be wearing that shirt and not sitting on the bench. So it'd be the first time in the history of Tottenham that we'd have a squad. But going back to your point about Tottenham fans, they'd be like, oh, he doesn't get in the 11. It's not a game. This is why we did not win the league in the Leicester year, because we had 11 quality players and a terrible squad. That is why we didn't win the league, because I don't think Tottenham have had a squad since 1984.
I agree. One of my worst things, Ben, I remember when we had that good 11 under Pochettino, I used to have these rows on Twitter all the time because people would go, oh, let's buy this attacking midfielder. Oh, but he doesn't get in above Dele Alli. Yeah. But he'll push Dele Alli. He'll make Dele Alli realise you can't just drop off a cliff. Same with centre-backs, forwards. And we always do this. We always do this. The big clubs, Liverpool, have got 6 forwards.
Yeah.
When they buy a player, I don't ever see a fan say, oh, but hang on, won't he take Salah's position or Firmino's? You evolve, you move, you pivot away from it. You look at Liverpool's 3 from the other year, which we all knew was Firmino, Salah, Mane. Yeah. Players get older, things change. Now, Firmino's gone. Mane's gone. Now they're trying to find new ways of bringing Spurs. We're so scared of doing that as a fan base. Frankly, Tottenham, thank you so much for the super chat. It is much appreciated. Has said, talking about Bentancur, we were seeing a leader and his assists and goals went up.
Yeah.
Listen, I do feel it's difficult. I think we were seeing Bentancur play in a team where whoever his midfield partner was poor. But what I do think about Bentancur more than that is I think Bentancur is more of a possession-based footballer.
Yeah.
I don't want Bentancur tearing around the pitch. You know, I want Bentancur cool, calm, collected on the ball with players. Yeah, with players like Basuma next to him who are the engine. So let's see what happens this season in a different formation. I'm going to read you some quotes and we'll get back. There's so many comments. I've been starring questions as well. So there's a lot to go through. I'm going to read some comments here from, this is from Gordon Strachan on Ange Postecoglou. And I'm interested to see what you think, Ben, and everyone in the chat, interesting to see what you think. Gordon Strachan said this: it doesn't matter who Tottenham will be playing, they'll be looking to unsettle teams with the intensity of their play. Ange likes to do everything very quickly. His football was so quick, he was catching the cameramen out. They'll be compact without the ball. When they go forward, they'll play with a lot of width. The football isn't too dissimilar to Man City in terms of width, movement in midfield, and fullbacks inverting. Everything his teams do is at a high tempo. It's a type of football the Tottenham fans will enjoy. What do you make of that, Ben?
It's something to get excited by, but what we have to do is we need to be realistic of this football is not easy to implement when you've had 3 defensive managers in the it's going to be teething problems. And we've still got players with no technical ability. Ben Davis, Eric Dyer, Japhet Tanganga, Emerson, in effect. I like Emerson as a defender, but he's not technically good. We've got too many players at the back that are not good with the ball. And if I have seen enough Ange football, you need defenders that can pass the ball. And I'm going to add Longley to that as well. He can pass the ball, but he's slow. And we need quick defenders to make that system work. Otherwise, it's going to be real teething problems. We're just going to have to be, we're going to lose some games, we're going to win some games. But it's exciting to see that he's going to try and do things in a right way. And it's good to see we're actually starting to listen a bit. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. I think it's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be an interesting year.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely is. I mean, look, the Bentancur conversations have gone on. Someone saying he's silky, has a cadence to his touch. Kudo said Bentancur will get into some top 6 sides. I always find it's difficult when we say what team would players get into, because it's easy to say Manu instead of Fred, but let's be fair, when Manu have their fully fit midfield, Fred isn't in it. So again, arguably Liverpool, from last season, this season, would he get in above? I don't know. I'm not saying he wouldn't. I'm saying, would he get in above Alexis McAllister? We don't know.
No, it's a different position. McAllister's number 10 and Bentancur's a number 8. I feel like Pep would like a player like Bentancur in games where he's going to have the ball a lot. But again, he's got a Rodri for that. He's got he's got players that can do that.
Rodri, my favourite player in the Premier League. I just think the guy's an absolute genius at football. He is just brilliant.
He is. He's Busquets incarnate. He's the current, but he might even be better than Busquets in the future because
I agree.
His passing is so good, and he's got goals in him. He's got goals in him.
Busquets said it. You know, I remember a couple of years ago when City signed him. I was saying to some friends of mine, I said, this guy is the real deal. And they went, oh, he won't be able to get rid of Fernandinho. And I said, look, Fernandinho's like 35, 36. I said, give this guy a year to settle. And for me, he's the complete midfielder. Yeah. He works hard. He's good in the tackle. But you know what? He's my type of player. He is always available to receive the ball. Yeah. It doesn't matter if he's playing against 3 men in midfield, always available to receive it, never panics. And Busquets actually said, Busquets said he should replace me.
You can tell Rodri has been staring at Busquets whenever he. You can tell that he's watched Busquets a lot. It's like with certain guitar players, you can tell which guitar players they listened to growing up. you can tell that
Yeah, of
Rodri
course.
has
Yeah.
absolutely idolised players like Busquets because he does exactly what Busquets does. In a way, it's like Michael Carrickish as well. He controls a space, but when he gets the ball, he comes alive. Like you can tell, it's got that sort of thing. Busquets and Xavi grew up watching Paul Scholes and Iniesta, and you can tell that he's added that to his game. He's got everything, Rodri. He's got absolutely everything.
Oh, superb. Absolutely superb. Keep smashing the like button, people. There's over 140 of you in here that have not hit the like button. Please do that. Please subscribe. Had another couple of subscribers. Go over to Ben and subscribe as well. The links Ben will smash into the chat, I'm sure, if I ask him very nicely. David Lever. Hang on. I'll come back to this, David. I do want to talk about Morgan Gibbs-White, but the Bentancur conversation seems to have stirred a bit of life in people. Dunkelsdork has said, I disagree. Bentancur was very good about the ball too and makes important tackles. I don't know who you were disagreeing with. I don't believe either of us said that didn't happen. I'm not sure whether you're disagreeing with someone in the chat on that one. Let me know. Loves Music has put in a super chat and said, should we bid for Mane? Heard Bayern want him out. Thank you so much for the super chat. Loves Music. My understanding is that he's got offers on the table from 3 teams in Saudi. You're on mute, Ben.
That's the problem with putting links in chat. Mane is not coming to Tottenham. He's too good to play for Tottenham. That's a player that would get in Man City's team. That is quality Sadio Mane. But I think he's going to take the payday. I think he's not enjoying his time at Bayern, and I think he'll take the money. And all to him, because the amount of money that man donates to charity in the villages he's built in his home country, you know that money is going to the right places. So fair play to him. Yeah, Mane's not coming to Tottenham.
Yeah, I think that when you get those 3 offers on the table, I think the fact that Mane has been there, seen it, done it. You know, he's won Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues, he's won German leagues, he's won this, that, the other. I think you know these bids that are coming from Saudi Arabia, from Qatar, and what is Mane? 30? I don't know. I'm going to guess 31, 32.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe. This is an interesting one. Frankly, I'm going to disagree with you here. And I'll tell you the only reason I'm going to disagree. My worry is, and Sean and I have talked about this a lot, my worry is that this midfield here lacks, for me, a number 6.
Yeah.
And when I say that, what I mean is the 2 fullbacks that will play high up.
Yeah.
So my worry is if you've got no natural number 6, 2 fullbacks that bomb forward, my worry is that you really then do expose the 2 centre halves. So that is why I said to Ben earlier, this for me is going to be interesting to see what happens with that trifecta in midfield. On paper, I think. Let me caveat this. Sorry, Ben. I think in home games against the lesser teams where we should be winning, I think that midfield is perfect.
Yeah.
I think if you put that midfield in an away game against Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, I think there's not enough protection in front of the back 2 for me.
You have the engine, but you don't have the base. You need a base. You need someone that's going to stay in the centre of the pitch, that's going to be open to receiving the ball. And those 3 like to move about. So you need a Wanyama. You need a Palacios. You need someone that's not flashy.
Wilson.
You need someone that's going to receive the ball and stay in so the other 2 can move about for him and create those triangles. So yeah, we need a number 6. We desperately need one of those. We haven't had one of those in years.
By the way, I don't miss super chats. It just means I haven't got to it yet. I never miss super chats. Don't worry. I will find it right now. Where are we? I've seen that one. Is it this one? Was it Tigaro who just said that to me? It was. So Tigaro has said, and the reason I didn't is because it was away from the conversation we were talking about. But thank you so much for the super chat. Has said Van de Ven looks like Haaland kryptonite. His dimensions of 6'4" and speed are really exciting. I'd pay to watch these 2 head-to-head in the next 5 years. I mean, look, it's a lot of pressure to put on a young centre half to call him Haaland kryptonite. But
The Haaland kryptonite is the fact he plays for Man City, and Tottenham always beat Man City for some reason. It makes absolutely no sense. We beat Man City and then lose to Burnley. That's his kryptonite.
I think that look. I think look the attributes that the players got look very good. Certainly, without getting carried away about him, he is a great height. He's very quick for a tall guy. One thing that I've seen, and I've spoken to a couple of my good friends, run a show called the Bundesliga Show. Funny enough, it's a show all about the German league on YouTube, and they were talking to me about Mickey van der Ven, and one of the big things they said about him is it hits that puts him above the other defenders is his anticipation.
Yeah,
he's very good at reading the game, nipping in front of people when the ball's coming down. He's always in sight of it. Completely different to the likes of Dyer and Sanchez, basically. So, but I feel we shouldn't, if he does sign, let's not put too much pressure on him in terms of calling him Haaland kryptonite just yet, because
Haaland is only going to get better as well. I know some people think he's above average John Carew, big up Boxy, but that guy's only going to get better at his age. He's going to be. Hopefully, we only have to deal with him for 2 more years, and he's going to Real Madrid. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of talks in the chat for some reason about Roger Ibanez of Roma versus Tapsoba of Leverkusen.
Ibanez is like Romero, but worse. Romero has the ability, but he's a lunatic. I don't think and also because I'm a guitar player, I don't like Ibanez, I like Gibson. So that's a guitar joke for you. Well done.
I have no idea what that meant, but okay. Guys and girls, what do we have to do to buy a couple of subscribers in here? No subscribers for the last 10 minutes. Can I get 5 very generous people that are in the chat to subscribe? I'm chasing down 7K. I'm trying to do 2,000 subscribers in 10 weeks. And I'm a couple of weeks off that. So if I could get that would make me feel really good about my life. So please smash the subscribe button. R Green has said, Bentancur not a bad player, but nothing to write home about. Just my opinion. It's crazy, isn't it? How our opinions as a fan base completely are polar opposites. Some people think he's world class. Yeah. Some people saying nothing to write home about. It's very, very interesting. David Philly 2109, big up Phil, has said, don't sugarcoat it. Come on. Do you ever know me sugarcoat anything? Do any of the Spurs YouTube community expect me to sugarcoat stuff? Mane and Laporte are never dropping down from the levels of success to come to Spurs. This is what I said about Laporte. Why when people say just go and get Laporte? Can you imagine, Ben, if you're Laporte and I'm your agent, right? And I ring you up and go, what's his name? Amric? I go, Amric, got a really exciting opportunity for you here. I know you play for the treble winners. I know you play centre-half for Spain. I know you win trophies every year. But Tottenham want you. What's your response? What are you thinking?
You're thinking, am I getting paid 400 grand a week? And then your agent will say, no, it's Tottenham. You'll be paid 2 Freddos and maybe a hot chocolate once in a while. And he'll say, goodbye. That's the only thing that's going to get a Laporte to Tottenham is if we bid 70 million to Man City for them to accept the bid. And then we offer him stupid money. I'm talking extreme money and making him the captain. We literally have to move beyond.
Do you not think, though, Ben, do you not think the moment the world would hear that Spurs have had a bid accepted, even if the player doesn't accept, a bid accepted for Laporte, there's going to be a lot of clubs that go, hang on, we need a world-class centre-back.
Yeah.
I could see a Newcastle going for him, Liverpool going for him.
Hence why we need to pay him 400 grand a week, because he'll do that. Newcastle are offering me 200. To play with the shit you've got, I need double the money. Give me the money. That's what we need. That's the only way we can get a player that good is to overpay beyond odds. And Tottenham don't overpay for anyone unless it's someone like Richarlison, who no one wanted really.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I just can't see it happening. I mean, Joe, not for me. I'll be honest. Everyone knows my opinion on Skip. I think Ollie Skip is a player that plays for Tottenham because he came through the youth team. No other reason. I can't imagine in any scenario where we would go and buy Oliver Skipp. No. There's the question I'd ask. If Oliver Skipp didn't play for Tottenham Hotspur and was playing down at Southampton or Leeds or wherever, would we be saying, let's buy Oliver Skipp and play him in the number 6?
No, never.
Not good enough for me.
I like Ollie Skipp. He works his arse off, but he's not good
he works hard.
He's not good enough. The only thing he's got is commitment, but commitment doesn't excuse quality. Basically, we need to fuse him and Ndombele because we need to fuse them. We need to build a fusion machine. Because then you might have 50% of a footballer.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. For me, I like that comment said, I don't actually agree. I don't think Ollie Skipp's passing is that good. No. I think he gets stuck in, but he can't get about. I feel like he looks like he's running with lead in his boots. Yeah. Hey, that's just me. I want to see much better at Tottenham Hotspur. Rafa said if Laporte will never come to Spurs, that means we don't have much chance with Kane signing a new contract.
No.
Let me wrap my head around that. Firstly, I don't think the two things are linked. I don't think we've got much chance of Kane. Well, I don't know. If Kane signs a new contract, we've seen him sign new contracts before without signing players like Laporte. Yeah. This, for me, would be about Harry Kane's ambition more than anything. I think if Harry Kane signs a new contract at Spurs, I think it's not saying a lot for ambition. But what do you make of this comment, Ben?
Kane will sign for Tottenham if the money is extreme. And that's if someone doesn't, no one... I believe Harry Kane is talking to Bayern Munich to get a bigger fish out of the water. I don't think Kane really wants to go. He's agreed personal terms. Of course, you would agree personal terms. But I think he wants a bigger fish. I think Harry Kane, if he's going to leave England, which I know for a fact that Harry Kane wants that #1 goal-scoring records, he wants personal accolades. I know that for a fact. That is said by people that I know close to him. He only wants to go to a Real Madrid if that's the case. I don't think he wants to go to a Bayern Munich. I might be wrong. He might have spoken to Thomas Tuchel, which is actually illegal, by the way, for him to speak to Thomas Tuchel. Even on holiday, it's illegal. But it's the two things are totally polar opposites. Kane is a Tottenham boy. He's come through the academy. He would sign a new contract with things like a release clause and loads of money, and Laporte is never going to come to Tottenham. He's got no reason to come to Tottenham. He can play for any team on the planet. He can play for any team.
And that's why when people say Savva in this era, money talks, I think, yes, it does, but other clubs have got money as well. It's got
extreme money. It's got to be extreme money. Newcastle could offer him 250 grand a week and he might go there. He could go there. For us to get him, we'd need to be offering 400, 500 grand a week, which we're never going to do.
I always look at this and I think that, yes, money talks, but we're in an era now where lots of clubs are stumping up big transfer fees, big salaries. I just look at it and I think, if I'm Laporte, what is the selling point for me leaving Manchester City to go to Tottenham? I don't know. All right.
Chicken's great.
The chicken's great. He'll play every week, but I just think bigger clubs will come in. I don't think some of the bigger clubs in world football would sit by and watch a centre-half like Laporte go to Tottenham. I truly don't.
It's like a whale corpse. Once there's a whale corpse, there's going to be bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I mean, Quinny, sure. Listen, I'm different to a lot of Spurs fans on this. I think a lot of players have moved when their wives are pregnant. A lot of players have moved with young families. But listen, at the end of the day, we'll see. We'll see what Kane does in the next month or so.
It's only a 2-hour flight to Germany. It's only a 2-hour flight. It's not like, it's about the same as going from where I work into bloody Reading. It's the same flight. It's not like he's not going to get on a private jet. He's Harry Kane. He's earning 200 grand a week. He can get on a private jet and 2 hours. He doesn't have to go through security like us normal peasants. 2 hours is not a long way. It's not that far. Yeah.
I mean, Hot God 10 has said, I just can't see Kane leaving unless City come in for him. I can't see City coming in for him this window. No. I think City might wait for him to be on a free.
I think he's going to Chelsea. I think he's going to Chelsea.
This is the worry, isn't it? This is, look, I mean, And here's what I'd say. When he ends up at Chelsea, in this hypothetical world, Ben, before everyone says, Savva said Kane's going to Chelsea. If he ends up at Chelsea, I, for one, won't be upset. And I'll tell you why. Do you know why I won't be upset? Because I'm one of the fans saying, sell him now. Do not let him walk on a free. Yeah. And lots of fans come onto my show going, get one more year out of him. We'd rather have 30 goals for one more year than sell him. I would rather sell him and get 90 to 100 million than watch that bloke playing a Chelsea shirt. So if he ends up in a Chelsea shirt, it will be some fans wanted him to stay. Like, do you know what I mean? I know it's a tough one. I know there's lots of moving parts to it, but something's got to give.
So it's PSG have done this very well with Kylian Mbappe. They've made an actual statement. Kylian, if you want to stay at PSG, you sign a contract. If you don't, off you go.
Right.
We'll set the money for you. They've said this. That's what big clubs do. And for anyone that doesn't think that, Harry Kane going to Chelsea terrifies me because they are spending money on making their team better. Imagine Kane with Nkunku behind him, with Fernandes in behind him.
Reece James.
They are signing some supremely quality players. Chelsea and Harry Kane with Pochettino with a point to prove against Tottenham. That is terrifying. Mm-hmm. That is a terrifying thing that it can happen. And it's why, as much as I would love Harry Kane to stay, you've got to take the money. I've been very privileged to talk with a man that used to be president of Juventus. I won't name names, but you could probably work it out. But he sold Zinedine Zidane for 56 million euro. He said to me, once you're offered that money, you sell. And this was Zinedine Zidane. This isn't just a normal footballer. This was Zinedine Zidane. That every footballer has his price, and we've got to rebuild the team. And Harry Kane, in what Sean's words, one day Harry Kane will not play for Tottenham anymore.
Yeah, one day he would have kicked his last ball for Spurs.
Yeah.
I would like to think, unless anyone will call me out on this, I would like to think that my stance has never ever changed. My stance has always been this: if you want to stay, sign a contract now. If you tell Spurs that you are walking on a free next year, that is when Daniel Levy, for me, turns around and says, okay, I'm going to sell you right now. You want, look, please, for the good of Tottenham, let me sell you now. You know, it's all well and good people going, oh, it's brilliant if he turns down 100 million from Bayern Munich, Levy, that is. But as a Tottenham fan, I would rather have those funds and be giving them to Ange Postecoglou to create a new way of playing. Yeah. You know, because what I don't buy into, Ben, is this whole conversation of who do we replace Kane with? I don't think you replace. I think you adapt.
You build a team.
You build a team
that scores goals in all outputs. I mean, you don't hear Roma fans crying about how we're going to replace Francesco Totti or how we're going to replace Batistuta. No, they build a team. Mm-hmm. Another player comes in the team. I know you could probably say Totti might not be on Kane's level. I think Totti's on Kane's level because I bloody love Francesco Totti. But
class act. Yeah. Absolute class act, Totti.
Absolutely quality. Like, you don't hear Roma fans complaining. You don't hear Man City fans crying, saying, oh, how are we going to replace Aguero? They've got a team. They've got a functional team. You need to build functional teams for players to shine. And Harry Kane has had to be so good because the players around him are so bad that it's now the club's falling out of his own arse.
Yeah. Listen, I think we said this last season, throughout the season. The biggest conversation in this transfer window from any club anywhere is going to be Harry Kane. I've believed that all this time. I don't see anything that's changed my mind now. Yeah. Declan Rice can go for 100 million. Cool. It's still not as big a story as what is Harry Kane going to do. For me, I've said it all along. If the boy has ambition, he leaves. Right? If he stays at Spurs, selfishly, brilliant. I've got my 30 goal a season man. But if he stays at Spurs, get the contract done, get it signed so we can all move on. And then we can go, right, we've got Kane. Now that's all done. We don't have to worry about that. Right. What are we doing with our back four? What are we doing with our midfield? Do you know what I mean? Let's get it sorted. But at the same time, the bloke is on holiday. He does deserve a holiday.
Yeah. Especially playing for Tottenham.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what would be interesting if you're looking at the Chelsea thing? Thank you for the 2 people that just subscribed, by the way. If I can get 7 more subscribers, I'll have hit my target for this show. 7 more people from 362 in the chat. Subscribe to Ben as well. With the likes, we're nearly at 250. 13 more likes to the 250. Come on, people, be generous. We do this for free. Please smash that button. Let's look at this Chelsea scenario. Fans have gone mad that Pochettino, who's not one of us, who is Argentinian, that went to manage in the Spanish league and then managed Southampton, then managed Spurs, they're upset that he's gone to Chelsea. Now imagine if Harry Kane went on a free to Chelsea Football Club on about £500,000 a week. Yeah. Can you imagine the vitriol, Ben?
I hope we have a Kleenex sponsorship. Because we'll be crying a lot.
Oh.
But I thought the Pochettino comments were hilarious. I thought they were so funny because I've been to many away games this year. And as many of you know, I'm a bit Levy out because I spend a lot of time with Daigle and co. Whenever we tried to sing We Want Levy Out, which is our right as Tottenham fans to demand that our chairman steps down, all these Pochettino fans, not Mark Cousins, because we love Mark Cousins, was singing Pochettino's name like he's the answer, he's the man. Yeah. Those fans, I don't like to quote this, I don't really like to say that. They're so far in the mud, they've come out the other side of the world. It was hilarious that their solution to all the problems has thrown all the mud in your face and said, I'm not working with this man. It is so funny. It couldn't have been a poetic ending for the ultra Levy inners that are trying to silence the Levy outers. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious. I thought it was entertainment. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, future music. I mean, there's a lot of statements in here that we don't know are true, right? Like Kane will be at Spurs forever, trophies or not. He just wants to be part of a turnaround of his club. City are the only sensible option. Look, strange things happen in football. Things move quickly. All it takes is one day someone to wake up and their club to go, right, let's go and whack 110 million on Kane. And the whole landscape changes, right? It's a merry-go-round. It's a merry-go-round, right? You know, you've got Mbappe, the situation going on with him as well. You know, he wants to stay for a year. PSG saying, well, no, you're not staying if you don't sign a contract. It's all up in the air. But for me, I'm at the stage where, Ben, I've come to terms with it. I've come to peace with it that he might not be here next year.
I think
we've had 10 years of him.
Chelsea, he's a legend because he stuck around and he was lied to. He was lied to by our football club. He was lied to. If he goes to Chelsea, he's not Sol Campbell. He's not a Judas. He's not a Luis Figo. He tried his absolute best to make Tottenham a winning team, and the club has failed him. Harry Kane didn't fail the club. 30 goals last year in that team. The man's a genius. The man is a genius. And it's just like, I won't be shocked if he goes. He has done all he can for club and country, but he's never had the players to win, the team to win, and that is just a fact.
Yeah, I mean, look, maybe we win a cup next year. Maybe we win the trophy with Ange. I mean, I'm not putting that pressure on the manager. I don't think we will, but you never know. Maybe that pacifies.
A League Cup would be lovely. If we put all our eggs in the basket of the League Cup, you've got to start somewhere. What's the first trophy Pep Guardiola won at Man City? The League Cup. Because you've got to make those small steps to win the big cups. You've got to taste success because then you want more of it. Whereas we don't like success. We look down on the League Cup. We look down on the FA Cup. And now that's all we've got now. We've got to go for the League Cup. It helps.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting one. General Zod. Has said, Daniel Levy-Innick will be toast if they let Harry Kane leave Spurs. It'll be the final nail in their mismanagement of our club. Well, I'm going to disagree because, look, as much as we don't like Levy-Innick, as much as we want to blame them for stuff, we've had Harry Kane for 10 years. I think this is his 10th or 11th season or whatever it is, right? most clubs don't have players for 10, 11 seasons. So in that regard, you could say, well, hang on, haven't they kept him for 10 years?
Yeah.
You know, big players move from clubs all the time. I don't think we can necessarily say that if he leaves, it's the final nail in the coffin. At the end of the day, you could look at it like this, and I'm just sitting on the fence here. I'm playing devil's advocate. You could look at it that not only would they have got 10 great years out of him and over 300 and whatever goals he scored, but they then might also get over £100 million in pure profit from a youth product. So I feel like it's a real difficult one to just say the final nail in the coffin. Big players leave clubs. Yeah, big players leave clubs all the time. It's only at Spurs where we're so scared of it happening. But that's just my take, Ben.
We're scared of it happening because we know that our ownership are not going to replace them. That's why we're scared of it.
Of course.
We know they're not going to replace Harry Kane with a proper team. They just don't do it. It's taken them 3 years to realise that if you're going to build teams around win now managers, you've actually got to give them money. You're not going to build a team with Antonio Conte. As much as I like Antonio Conte as a manager, something we've disagreed with a lot. But one thing we do agree with is if you've got Antonio Conte, you've got to buy now. You've got to buy ready-made players that fit that system, that fit that personality instantly, because he'll be gone in 2 years.
Yeah.
That's what you can't. You're not. Antonio Conte has never managed a club for 4 years, and we seem to. It's like that. It's the Billy Mays commercial for anyone that knows American commercials of the leaking water, and he puts a bit of tape on it, and suddenly it's all fine. That's what Tottenham do. Instead of using that super awesome tape that Billy Mays sells you, we're using sellotape.
No, absolutely. Just big up. Listen, Ben, as long as you've got time, I'm going to go for another 15 minutes, if you're all right. We go for 15 minutes then. If everyone wants to jump over to Perchy, I won't eat into Perchy's time.
Perchy's not here today. Perchy is not on today. He is in the office.
Oh, fair enough. Gutted, Perchy. Perchy's in the office. Gutted. Please smash. We're going to go for another 15 minutes anyway. Smash the like button. There's 250 likes. There's 365 of you in here. We can get a few more likes. Smash the subscribe button. We're now up to 6,725. I'm aiming to get to 6,750 by the close of play today. So please help me with that. And big up Adrian Parker, who's just become a channel member. Big up, Adrian. Thank you so much. As I've said to everyone, beginning of the season, when the season actually kicks off, I'll be doing some channel member only shows, which will be just for my channel members, my guests on the show and my mods. So please, if you would like to be a channel member, do. But more importantly, subscribe. Help me get to that 6,750 as quickly as possible. The Harry Kane is funny, isn't it? I try not to throughout the show talk about Kane. And then the moment you mention Harry Kane, it's like, it's mad and everyone wants their say on it. And it's great, which is why we're here. Spurs King has said Chelsea will sack Poch before Kane's contract runs out. He ain't going there. I don't think Chelsea will. I think he'll be there, mate. I think he's going to do well. I think he's got the nucleus of some very good players there. If I look, I don't know what their 11 is going to be. They're going to sign a goalkeeper. When you look, Reece James, Badashili, Fofana, Chilwell, Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo will be there. They're in negotiations right now. Chelsea will get it done. You've got Nkunku. Now add in a couple of forwards, couple more midfielders. We don't know what he could get some great bits out of Mudryk and Madueke and Conor Gallagher. I think they're going to be a decent outfit. I don't think they're going to win the league. I'm not saying that.
They might only finish fifth. But that's enough for Champions League this year. Yeah,
absolutely. I think he'll get them back into Champions League. I look, as much as there were things I didn't like about Poch with those young, hungry. You watch all the players he's got rid of. Yeah, how many of them were the young players?
None of them. The players like Mason Mount, which I actually quite like Mason Mount. I have the the privilege of talking to a Man United fan regularly, and Man United have got a good player on their hands. He fits into their team perfectly. He doesn't fit into a Pochettino team. And I'm not potentially a Mason Mount fan. I think he's a good little player, in the words of Rory Jennings. before he slagged him off for about 25 minutes.
Listen, I've got no problem with him. I'd love him to come on. I just find so many of his takes really difficult to wrap my head around. Like, if we were going to have a debate about Conte, I feel like we could have a good debate where we go, I don't like him for this. Yeah, but he did. Some of his takes are so far removed that you go, this is purely for clicks. This is clickbait. But hey, each to their own.
It's a great listen though. But Mason Mount, good player for Man United, doesn't work in this Chelsea team under Pochettino. He's not a Pochettino player. They're getting rid of the players that don't fit Poch, and they're getting players that do fit Poch, which is, it's really upsetting because we constantly have good managers and we don't do it. And as soon as they leave, we get managers that do fit their system, like Van der Ven and players like that would fit a certain Antonio Conte system very well. It's a bit mind-boggling.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look. Where are we? Loads of comments. That's why we're going to go for the extra 10, 15 minutes or so. Yeah. Philly, a good point. Everyone keeps saying that the only club Kane should go to is City to win trophies. United literally just won a trophy and got to another final. Yeah. So you chuck Harry Kane into that Man United team.
They're going for the title. If you don't think Harry Kane makes Man United title contenders, you don't watch football. They've got quality. They've got Casemiro. They've got a 5-time winning Champions League winner who's still awesome. They've got some amazing players in that team. And putting Harry Kane's 30 goals. Yeah. He's late. Surely.
There he is.
Hey, well, hang on. Can you hear me?
It's got the wrong microphone.
We can hear you now. Have you just been recording a video with Bugsy?
Yeah, I was a struggle today to get one out, I'll be honest.
It's tough when there's not a lot of news, right? It's tough to...
Mate, honest to God, I don't know what we're going to do from about August. From the day the window closes. We're going to be like... at 5 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, as soon as the game's done, there'll be an hour of match reactions, and then we've got 7 days of tumbleweed.
Listen, if there's one thing I've learned, guys, Tottenham Hotspur is never dull. There'll never be 7 days where something controversial doesn't happen. I mean, Sean, look, as you've guessed us, we've had an hour and a half where we talked about everything but Harry Kane, and then the Harry Kane has come up. Now everyone's giving their kind of prediction of where could he go, why should he go, would he stay, is he loyal, all this kind of stuff. And one of the comments was that Harry Kane would only leave to go to stay in England. Sorry, he would only leave for an English team if it was City because it's the only club who's guaranteed trophies. But Philly, one of the Phil Army, has made a point that United literally just won a trophy, got to an FA Cup final as well. If they had Onana in goal, they've got Mason Mount. They might be getting Amrabat as well. Chucking Kane. Are we then looking at a team that could push Man City for the title? Not enough there for you?
They get closer. They definitely get a lot closer. But I just genuinely think if Man City took the Carabao Cup, who beat Manchester City in the Carabao Cup?
Southampton.
What happened there? How did that happen? I don't remember the game. How did that happen?
It was what's his name? Nathan Jones' best day as a manager ever.
Was it? Yeah,
I think it was a typical. They were just all over them, but couldn't score, and they went out.
Look, I just feel like if Manchester City want to do the quad next year, if they take every game seriously, I just think that
they'll do it.
But yeah, they can easily do it, right? Like Manchester United are a much better team with Harry Kane, with Onana. Look, I'm not a fan of Mason Mount for what it's worth. I heard what Ben was saying a minute ago, and I think it makes sense what you're saying, Ben, that he fits that system a lot more than he does Chelsea's. But like me personally, I don't think that Mason Mount is anything like a £70 million player. And I don't really know where he fits into the squad immediately. Is he going to sit in there and replace Eriksen? Is he going to, and also, we had a conversation yesterday, Savva, about Amrabat. Like, he's going there, but is he going there to sit on the bench, or is he going there to play? Like, it's a weird one. They're overstacked in certain positions and a little bit understacked in others. So, look, Harry Kane's got a far bigger chance of winning a trophy at Man United than he does at Tottenham. Put it that way. But is it a guarantee at Man United? I wouldn't say it is, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, the other option, you've got people talking about will Kane stick around at Spurs and then next year could link up with Erling Haaland at Man City. I mean, that's a huge worry for the rest of football, isn't it? If Man City next year took Harry Kane whilst they've got Erling Haaland, Foden will be 23, 24 by then. Grealish will be, right in his peak. Alvarez will be a couple of years old. It's is there any way you see that happening, guys? Is there any way we see that he stays, doesn't sign a contract, then goes and joins Pep?
Is there any way it doesn't happen?
Is there any way it does happen? Do we see it happening?
Going to Man City
on a free.
That's if they want to win the quad.
Imagine if that happened. Imagine if, how much would Pep Guardiola love that, to have one over on Daniel Levy? It took him 3 years, but he got his man in the end, and it cost him nothing to do it. He'd absolutely, that'd be dream world scenario for Pep.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? I mean, does anyone know when Harry Kane is back from his holiday? Like, when's he meant to be reporting to Hotspur Way?
It's 2 weeks after internationals finished, isn't it? Don't they get 2 weeks off after internationals? So
it must be next week.
Yeah, I think it's Monday. I think he's off until Monday. So that's what I was saying on my walk this morning. I'd imagine that there has to be some clarification around what's happening with him by the end of next week. By that point, you'll have known. He'll have had his chance to sit down with Ange. The Ange magic dust of his Antipodean cult character can either win over Harry Kane or not. And we'll know then. Like, it will leak out to the press whether Harry Kane has said no to the contract, no to Ange. And then it's over Daniel Levy to negotiate. But Daniel Levy's never a good negotiator when he's got little to no leverage on his side. And if Harry Kane just flat out refuses to go, then there's very little leverage left, is there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, Ben, do you feel in any way that, I mean, look, we've seen Postecoglou. He's a man manager. He's a motivator of men. Do we feel there's any way that Postecoglou can sit down with Kane and convince him again? Because he must have been convinced. He's had Jose, Nuno, Conte, Poch, all of these people that would have sat down and gone, "Hey, Harry, stay with us. We're going to do this." Do we see that Postecoglou can be the latest in a line of managers to convince him that at 30 it is worth him sticking around?
Was it fool me 5 times? Fool me 5 times.
Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it?
Fool me twice. It's now fool me 5 times. I don't think he's going to be fooled this time. I've been sold the dream.
I mean, Will Young sang about once bitten, twice as shy. I mean, how many times has Kane been bitten? How shy must he be? On a serious note, what could Postecoglou say? What is it that he's going to be saying to him of, "Hey, I know we're not winning at the moment, but I promise you in 2
Whether
years,
you stay or go, we're probably not winning a trophy anyway."
Right. Yeah. He's going to bring James Maddison in.
Not to worry, mate. City are winning the quad next year. You might as well not win a trophy somewhere else. And you might as well not win a trophy here and not win a trophy somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, in some ways, I'm going to ask this, and I'm not sure if people in the actually, before I do, I should read out a super chat and some stuff. First of all, please go and please go and subscribe to Ben. Ben Kaufman, he always puts his link in the chat. He'll put it in there. He'll also, I know he'll be so kind to stick Sean's link in the chat. I know he will, and I'm sure all of you have subscribed to Sean, but if you haven't, please go over there and subscribe to him. Keep subscribing to me. I'm 26 away for the day. I'm sure I'll make that up with videos, but Sean knows my targets and I'm desperate to get to them.
What's your target today? What was your start?
Today is to get to 6,750, but
okay.
It's 10,000 by the end of September. That's the aim. That's the aim.
Oh, you'll get there, mate. 100% you'll get there.
I think we might do. Just quickly, another new member, Tigaro. Thank you very much. Thank you for becoming a channel member. So that's a Tigaro and Adrian Parker that have. And as I said, Tigaro, just to put it out there, when the season starts, we'll be doing some channel member only private shows. a little bit more intimate. Still wear your clothes, though. Please keep your clothes on. And the only people that will be invited will be the guests who I want to stream with and moderators, brilliant moderators such as Ben and Rootsy Pop.
What Jib's back? Is that Jib in the comments? Yeah,
Oh,
same old Jib.
God. Not Jib.
What's he saying? He says
Hang
the panel's
on.
agenda against Kane is unreal. 11:57. I'm unsure.
I'll get to him. Let me get to him. This guy is an absolute clown of the highest order. Rooksy Pop, big up, mate. Hope you are well out there in. You're in New Zealand, right? I'm pretty sure you're in New. Yeah, you are in New Zealand, and you're a Schalke fan, which is might wrap your mind around that. Arsenal will challenge again, making some good signings like Timber and Havertz. If Liverpool has their players, people would say they'll challenge. Look, it's going to be interesting. I think it's really interesting that you didn't mention the biggest signing in British football history of Rice, but yeah. Look, for me, I'm not doubting that Arsenal aren't making some good signings. I still don't know if they've got the depth to challenge again whilst playing Champions League football. We will see. Liverpool, I think, will be there or thereabouts wherever Arsenal are as well, because I think Liverpool are buying well, and I still think Liverpool will buy some more players. Now, thank you very much, Rooksy Pop. Thank you, Tigaro, and thank you, Adrian Parker. I appreciate all of you. And Loves Music has come in and said, how do you become a channel member on an iPhone? I am good. First of all, can we appreciate Sean's hair? Second of all, on an iPhone, I have a Samsung. I'd like to think it's the same. You go to the...
I dropped the link in the chat. Click on the link and it should bring you to the membership page.
There you go. Ben, that's why Ben's here. He knows these things. So please subscribe, become a channel member if you can. If you go in there, it gives you the option. Loves music. Always a big supporter. Thank you very much. Right. Should we get to him? Where's my man Jib? I know 57. He's trolling. You know he's trolling. We all know I'm going to buy. Here we are. Right? I'm hungry. Right. Right, hang on. Was there one before that?
One before that.
Yeah.
Well,
Right. Let's break this down. I like to break down when clowns say stupid stuff. This panel's agenda against Kane is unreal. I'm unsure whether you're even Spurs fans. F off down the Emirates. There's a load... There's loads of things I'd love to. Let's go backwards. I'm going to go backwards. F off down the Emirates. At least put a full stop after the Emirates and use a capital E for Emirates, right? Ridiculous grammar, right? F off down the Emirates. Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan. How did you decipher?
I thought you were a Chelsea fan, Savva. That's what everyone's been saying in other chats.
It was Chelsea the other day. Today it's Arsenal. I'm unsure whether you're even Spurs fans. These two have got season tickets.
Yeah.
I won't give Levy my money because I'm better than these. No, I won't give Levy my money. These two are season ticket holders. What do you mean? And the agenda against Kane. Surely, if you use two of these and one of these, right? We're saying Kane is good. Like, Kane can go to Bayern Munich. Kane can go to Real Madrid. What are you talking about? And to back on from what he's saying, sorry, people like this make me laugh. They used to upset me. Here we go. Classic Savva calling people clowns. Dude, you've got a photo with a sheet over your head with some sunglasses and
well, that's why he can't see or hear Savva, because he's got a sheet over his head. He can't see what we're saying or hear what we're saying.
It might be that. He said, classic Savva calling people clowns, people like you. When you bang on about Alex Scott every week like you watch him. I don't bang on about Alex Scott. I've seen Alex Scott play. I like him, what I've seen, and I wouldn't be against Spurs signing him.
Yeah.
This is the same Jib, Sean. This is the same Jib.
Why do I know this guy's name? When did we last encounter Jib? Was it yesterday?
Yesterday on Henry's channel when he said that people like Dane Scarlett and Troy Parrott were generational talents.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I knew the name. There you go.
Right,
I like the cut of your Jib.
Jib, would you like to come on and chat with me, Ben and Sean, the three Arsenal fans? Would you like to come on and chat with us? Listen, you say you want players like Scarlett and Parrott, right? Alex Scott has just won Young Player of the Year in the Championship, right? Alex Scott is being scouted by top Premier League clubs. So forgive me for liking a young player that plays for somebody else.
Apparently you called Harry Kane a loser as well, Savva.
No, Mr. Box Office calls him a loser. I say he's got no ambition if he signs for Spurs. Mr. Box Office calls him a loser. Oh my God, I can't deal with this absolute clown anymore. Come on, either come on or don't. I've got no time for you. You're an idiot. Frankly, Tottenham. Big up, Frankly. I said, I've subbed Savva and I'll super chat. Yeah, but nobody replaces my Sean Butler and Bugsy. Listen, hey, I can't complain. Listen, if I'm in that esteemed company, then I'm just happy. Seriously, you're all good guys, including the Irish Hotspur. I like the way including him, no one else. Big up Dave Harris, wherever you are, sitting on that fence.
He's in the chat somewhere. I saw him a minute ago saying that Harry Kane's back on the 12th.
Let's see.
So you're going to reel him in.
We'll reel him in. Let's do it. Let's get all the Spurs. Dave, are you in the chat? You want to come on? Should we just chat Tottenham for like 12 hours solid?
I've got a stream in 2 hours, Savva.
No, I'm joking. I'm definitely not going for that long. But where are we? Sorry, that threw me. Break it down. I did break it down. Don't you worry about that.
We broke it down. We'll DX on it.
We'll get Jib on if he wants to come on. It's important that we allow special people in the community a chance to shine. So he's more than welcome to come on.
I like the name. I just like the name. It's simple. Jib. Who are you? I'm Jib.
Yeah. Fustercluck. I'm not angry. I'm laughing. I'm not angry. It just makes me laugh. And me and Jib have history. I get these clowns, then I block them, then one reappears, and they're good entertainment. Look, the last thing I want to talk about, guys, before we go is outgoings. One last outgoing I want to talk about is Hugo Lloris. We've bought Vicario, surely as our number one goalkeeper. Everyone, I think for the last year, maybe 2 years, has been getting a little bit frustrated with Lloris that, he's probably outstayed his welcome. Do we expect to see Lloris leaving imminently, or do we think he's got a role to play still at the club? Where are we at with this guy?
I'd rip his contract up and just say, go home, go back to Nice, which is what you wanted to do. He's been a great servant for the football club, but his time is done. He's done. He's done at a top level, in my opinion. And I argue with my uncle with this because my uncle is a big Hugo Lloris fan. But most of the problems we have as a defensive unit is because Lloris and his distribution. It's time. It's time. Yeah. He's been a great captain, but it's time for a new captain at the helm.
Yeah. Yeah, it could well be. I mean, Sean, where are you at Hugo Lloris? Do you see him going out in the next couple of weeks, and where do we see him going to?
I think you could have that kind of gentleman's agreement that if we can't find any, because I think you could maybe get a cheeky bid from like Saudi Arabia where they might want to give us like 3 or 4 million, or to a couple of million maybe, I don't know, something, or maybe a little just like a gesture, which would be nice, right? But ultimately, I agree with Ben. Yeah, just get him out. I think that there probably is a little bit of valuation in him, and but I don't see him playing. I don't see him playing football, sitting on the bench or anything next season. It's such a shame the way his career at Tottenham ended, with him kind of seemingly like throwing the towel in a little bit and acting a bit gutless, especially as captain of the football club. Against Newcastle.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because there are so many players that need to go that I think every Spurs fan is kind of waking up every day waiting to see. Right, we're kind of waiting to see. Oh, Spurs receive bid for Sessegnon, for Lloris, for this, for that, and at the moment, other than Winks, nothing's gone, has it? And for me,
Keith said this morning that 2 clubs are into Højbjerg, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, do we think they're going to be Saudi Arabian clubs?
No. It'll be Atletico Madrid and it'll be some team that plays defensive.
A German team. I reckon he might go to Germany, you know.
Well,
it depends on. I think Atletico is a good club for him because they play 10 men behind the ball the entire game, and that suits quite.
Do you know what I'd do though? I'd go and speak to Fiorentina and see if there's a chance that the Amrabat deal's not done, and say, do you want Højbjerg plus 10? And then
I don't think Højbjerg would go to Fiorentina. I think he wouldn't go there. I think he sees too much in himself, which is why an Atletico would work.
Which is strange because the drop from Amrabat to Højbjerg in Fiorentina fans' eyes would be immense. Yeah, that's the strange thing about that. He would look down on Fiorentina. The Fiorentina fans would go, "This is not Amrabat." Do you know what I mean?
I'm surprised. So surprised about the price. Sorry, Ben.
Fiorentina is a great club, and their fans are very passionate. I love their stadium as well. I hope that as much as it is a bit of a dive, it's one of the best stadiums I've ever been to, and I love that stadium. Great fans. It's one of the things I have always wanted to do is do a Juventus versus Fiorentina derby. I think that'd be a great watch.
Yeah.
Would Højbjerg be throwing his career away? He's already won the Champions League, hasn't he, with Bayern Munich? Technically,
I think technically he was on the books. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
He wasn't in the squad, though, was he?
Let's have a look. Let's see if it's been attributed towards him. Always a nice word to spell, Højbjerg. So on his official honours on Wikipedia, it has got no. He's got official honours would be the Bundesliga in 2013 and 2014, the DFB Pokal and the FIFA World Club Cup.
Okay. He still won trophies. Then he could. So he's not like a Harry Kane kind of leap, like going if he was to go to Saudi Arabia, he could still claim.
He could still claim he's won the Bundesliga twice, and he's been a runner-up in the EFL Cup twice. Once with Spurs and once with Southampton. So, but yeah, I think that players like that now need to start moving out. Players that, again, I would expect to see Lloris go, Højbjerg, Perisic, a lot of the leggy players. I would think that we would start to see, but we need to see some outgoing soon, surely, don't we, gents?
Yeah. Just quickly, have you seen that story about the CEO of Shakhtar Donetsk coming out and saying, "Oh, I'm really hopeful that when we sit down on the eve of our game with Tottenham, that the owners of the two clubs can get together and find common ground and a solution, because we can't sustain economically if we lose. We put a massive investment into Manuel Solomon, and we need Tottenham to, compensate us." And I was like reading it going, I think you don't know who Daniel Levy is, bro. If you think Daniel Levy is going to just hand over 10 million as a gesture of goodwill because the war in Ukraine's not your fault, I don't think you understand. Daniel Levy is not going to hand over money if he doesn't have to.
It's all to do with FIFA. He's got to speak with FIFA, not Tottenham. Unless they think Tottenham are the heads of FIFA, which would be hilarious because we never win anything. Tottenham being at the head of a football organisation would be really funny. But it's they can have a chat. They won't get anywhere because FIFA have made the rules and their rules are final. You've got to speak with FIFA.
Yeah, it's a very strange one. Guys, we are going to go for another 8 minutes. 8 minutes, and then we are going to drop out. Please do keep smashing the subscribe button for myself, for Sean, and for Ben. Smash that like button. We're nearly at the 300 likes. We're at 286 likes. Let's get 14
Raf is
more.
right, by the way. Raf is right. Juventus isn't, but it's still a derby. Juventus and Fiorentina is a derby for some reason. I don't understand it. I don't.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Just like Brighton and Crystal Palace. I mean, for me, I think that's we called this all the last. Let me start that again. That wasn't even nearly a coherent sentence. Sean, one of the things we talked a lot streaming in the last 3 months of the season was going to be about outgoings. Are we seeing that issue now, or do you think there are bids in the background that we're just not releasing? Because other than Højbjerg linked to two clubs, Sanchez is linked to Villarreal, but I haven't seen any bids come in for any of our players. Like there's no Romano saying, so and so have bid 15 million for Sessegnon or whatever. How much of a concern is this?
It's not to me. It's not so much of a concern yet. Like I'd rather Tottenham just focus, because obviously, it's difficult without a clear director of football to do more than one thing at once with Tottenham. It shouldn't have to be, but it is the way it is. I don't think there's enough people that are kind of able to pull strings and levers. But at the moment, I don't want Tottenham to be distracted by trying to sell Sanchez, and in so doing miss out on Mickey van der Ven or on Tapsoba or on whoever else. Like, I feel like the next priority in a long list of chicken and the eggs is to get one or ideally both centre-back spots filled. And then as soon as you're then comfortable with what you have in your squad, then you can go and rapid fire and try and find homes. Of course, that doesn't necessarily suit the buying clubs, because the buying clubs are wanting to prioritise getting their players in, but, same as everyone else. So it's always a bit of push and pull. But I'm not concerned just yet, mate, because I don't even think necessarily, what's his name, Ange Postecoglou's had a chance to run his eye over the entire squad yet. So, obviously we found out yesterday, we don't know if he wants to keep Lo Celso or Ndombele. He's willing to give them both, a chance. So, can we make the same assumption about some of the other players that the club doesn't want? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting way to look at it, Sean. I mean, Ben, off the back of that, I would say, who is dealing with the outgoings? Who is the person that's fielding is it all Daniel Levy at the moment fielding the calls for these players? Is there a chief scout in charge? What is Paratici still in the background? What's happening?
I don't think anyone really knows with Tottenham. We are the least transparent club in the world of football, in my opinion. I think Paratici has got some input as a consultant. Scott Mann has probably been looking at the team since he got appointed and he started his official role on the 1st of July. Beats me. It's a very strange one, but I would say everyone has a little bit of a piece of the pie, and I think he's probably done his research, Scott Mann, to see what the problems are, and he's probably already ripped his hair out. I don't think he had any hair anyway, but we need to see if Scott Mann actually had any hair before he became the Tottenham director of football operations. No one truly knows, but I think there's got to be a little piece of the pie for everyone, I would say.
Yeah, I just wondered, you know what I mean? Is it Daniel Levy's phone that's ringing all the time from these agents, or is there somebody else manning that for him? Because I'll be honest, I am slightly different. I'm worried that we haven't seen any outgoings yet. I'm worried that might stop us bringing players in. I'm concerned that we will wait for the money to come in before we see players go out. Yeah. And then what that leads me to believe is, if we don't see outgoings, I wonder whether or not we're going to make more stupid loan signings like we did the back end of last year, where we see the likes of Longley coming in to fill a gap, but it is just that, filling a gap with an average player.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
That's my real concern.
It'll be difficult, though, mate. There's so much to do, though, boys. Right? There's just you got to think we still got 2, 3, at least 2, in an ideal world, 3 or 4 new players to come in. You've got to give Postecoglou a chance to run his eye over some of those kind of like peripheral players. Maybe the decision's already been made around Sanchez, but do we know what Sessegnon, the role for I know what I want to see happen with Sessegnon, but does Post? What about Reguilon? Like, it's 50-50. Like that, they're kind of major decisions and big calls, and I don't think he can make those choices on those kind of decisions until he's had probably at least a week or 2 of pre-season.
I think that's a massive point to make. There's a huge difference between what we want as fans versus what the manager wants as the manager, right? I've got a list of about 16 players I wouldn't mind seeing leave Tottenham Hotspur, but realistically, it's not going to happen. And I did this to you the other day, Sean. For me, I want to be surprised. I want that maybe a couple of players I don't like, that they start for Postecoglou and then you go, fair play, like fair play, you turn it around. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to be proved wrong and wanting to see.
But Savva, you will get Jib. Will be straight after you. He'll be straight after you.
Yeah. I don't like
Savva. You told me Ndombele wasn't good enough. You told me Sessegnon was terrible. I'm fine being proven wrong. If it's for the benefit of Tottenham Hotspur, I am fine to be wrong on these players. 100%.
I mean, if you put your opinion out there, you're gonna be proven wrong once in a while, and that's why
of course.
we put our faces to our opinions. We put our faces to it, and eventually we're gonna be. We want to be proven wrong. I say this with Dave all the time. We're desperate to be proven wrong. We're desperate for the Levy-inners to turn around to us and say, "Ha! Look what we've done." But it's just, we've been proven right so many times. And it's all about opinion. Football is a game of opinions. And if we all agreed with each other, it'd be really boring.
Absolutely. What I love, though, one of my favorite things about YouTubing is if people watching haven't seen a player that you talk about, straight away they go, "You've never seen him play." And you know, when you think, why haven't I seen him play? Because you haven't seen him play means, do you know what I mean? Like, you've never seen Alex Scott. You know, if you talk about Tapsoba, you've never seen Tapsoba. What, the German league isn't on BT Sport every weekend?
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like, sorry, are we not? I don't understand it. It's like a coping mechanism for people that should somebody go and educate them. So, like, Sean, you're probably one of the best in the community at admitting, I don't know about this guy. I will go and educate myself. Right? That for me is
exactly.
That for me is what I think people should do. But people take the opposite stance, like that jib idiot. Like, you've not seen Alex Scott. Yeah, never seen him. Just making it up that I like him. Just making it up. Idiots everywhere. Right, we are going to end the show there. Just before we do, Loves Music is coming with another super chat. Big up, Loves Music, always a big supporter of the channel, and said it depends who actually listed versus who we want out. I think this is it. We could have a list of 15, 16 players between us three here that we all say we want them to go. Postecoglou's list, if he's got one, might be 5 or 6. We don't know. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Absolutely, Paul. You tell Irish. Listen, if anyone has got any tweezers, we need them, because Irish has got so many splinters from sitting on that fence that we need to pluck them out, don't we, Dave? We need to pluck them out. So big up. If you haven't already, of course, please go over and subscribe to Dave at the Irish Hotspur. Great guy.
I don't think Dave does sit on the fence, mate. It's funny. I like the fact that you've got this, like, that you're pushing that story, but I'm not sure he does. I think he's pretty clear with his opinions. Although he did come out with a bit of a unique one about Ndombele. He came out with this idea on a text message last night. I'm going to leave it for him to bring it out, to break it to the world of Tottenham fan base. But splinters are us, eh, Dave?
Yeah.
Dave is going to change his channel to the Irish Splint Spur. So listen,
the Irish Splinter.
I do love having chats with Dave, because Dave is the only person I know that loved Paratici and Conte in equal measures, but then says the club isn't good enough and the players aren't good enough, but yet Paratici done a wonderful job and bought us loads of good players. I never know. Hey. Big up, Dave. We love you, man. And he stopped inviting me on his show recently. I wonder why he doesn't invite me on his show. Savva can't handle my real talk. I reckon Jib is Dave. I reckon David is Jib.
Oh,
the Irish Jib.
The Irish Jib. You the Irish Jib. Look, on a serious note, we have been going for 2 hours, 20 minutes. Listen, it's been great. Spurs will always give us enough to talk about. Join me tomorrow for this is a Monday to Friday thing, by the way. I don't do this on Saturday and Sunday. But Sunday night, we are back for the Spurs review. It's episode 31, but it's episode 1 of the 23-24 season. Myself, Sean, are joined by Fuad. I think most of you will know Fuad if you watch the YouTube community, and also Tapping Tobes, another big Spurs YouTuber. So you won't want to miss that. Join us on Sunday night at 8 p.m. Just leaves me to say, please subscribe to Ben, subscribe to Spurs Talk Show. Ben, thank you so much. It's been good having you this side rather than that side for a change. Thank you for coming on.
Always a laugh, Savva. Always a laugh. I can still do my moderator roles and ban people all the time. It's great. I can do 2 things at once. It's just like people
absolutely
say,
brilliant.
Yeah. So I can do it, and it's great to always have a chat with you, Savva. It's that. But yeah, if you can sub to the coffee company, means a lot. We want 400 subs. Let's get there.
Yeah, absolutely. So subscribe, help a brother out, get him to the 400 he wants. Sean, you all know Sean now. You all know his channel. Get over there, support him. He's just released a video. Watch the video. Don't listen to Sean. Just watch Bugsy Malone. Lovely dog. And
you know, mate, there's a direct. I've realised recently that I have to sort of take the bitter with the better. When Bugsy Malone is traditionally in the background, like the average watch time on my videos is like 50% higher than when she's in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And people like have nothing to look at. Bugsy Malone is 100% the star of that show.
Yeah.
I can't, you know.
Big up, Bugsy.
Own it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And please get over and support the Irish Hotspur as well as the Spurs Talk Show. Yeah, all right, Dave, you're just waffling now. You're turning into the Irish box office. On that note, much love. Thank you to everyone who has become channel members in this show. I think it was Tarragon, also Adrian Parker off the top of my head, people who have put in the super chats. Really, really appreciate that. Please, on your way out, please subscribe. We need another 24 for the day. Much love. See you soon. And as always, here's a tiny little, as always, leave you out. Here's a tiny little video to see you out. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.